Because that... Can we hear us now? Can we hear us now, guys? We tested this just before we went live and it was working. So if we can hear it, please let me know. I think it should be good now. I think it should be good. Yeah, it's a mime stream. There we go. Right, guys. I'm gonna start that again because that was a complete mime to start off with. So, you're going to have to bear with us on this one. We are on the road in Florida. We're currently on our honeymoon, but we're doing the PWCC stream. I've got the butler here with me. As you can see, we're in the hotel room. Now, I tested the mic before we went live. It was fine, but for some reason, it didn't want to connect there. So we've had to plug a different mic in. So hopefully it lasts. Hopefully it's all okay. So I'm going to repeat myself with everything I said before. You're going to have to turn that off because otherwise you're going to hear the backlash from it. Gonna repeat everything I said that you guys obviously missed. I've got my chat over here, I've got my camera over here. It's all a little bit different. I've never ever streamed away from my setup before. I've never gone live, like not with my normal stuff. So I've bought a very powerful laptop to get us through streaming on the road. And next week we're gonna actually be live from Dallas, which is gonna be super fun as well.
Let us know if you're going to Collecticon.
Yeah, because we're gonna be at Collecticon, so we'll see you there. So yeah, welcome in, guys. Thank you for being here. It's the weekly PWCC live stream. However, this week there is a twist. We're doing an extra hour, which is why we've gone live at, what is the time? 8 p.m. EST.
That says 1 a.m.
Yeah, don't look at that. 8 p.m. Eastern instead of 9 p.m. Eastern, because basically what we're going to do for the first hour is we're going to cover the premiere auction, which is coming up next week. Now, unfortunately, I'm not able to stream during that because I'm actually traveling that day from Florida to Texas, so I'm going to be missing that. But what I thought I would do is I thought I would do an extra hour on this stream where we look at all the items on the premiere, because the premiere is a pretty big deal, and you'll see that when we get into it. And then we're going to cover the weekly as we normally do. So you will have to bear with us on this one, guys, because this is a complete, first time trying this away from the normal setup. Again, PWCC do know, so if it all goes wrong, we'll have to do something to fix it. But hopefully it all looks good. I've got a new camera as well for on the road. So I'm just going to keep up with the chat, because I've got the chat over here. You've got your chat over there. So we've got green tea always in with that link. And guys, you can follow along today. It's pinned at the top of the chat. The auction link as always. We got Taylor in, we got Haley, we got Buddy, Evie Master, welcome in everyone. And guys, it's not 2 o'clock in the morning for once. It is 8 p.m. here in Florida, so it's great. Who else we got? We got Tats in, we got Viltrum, welcome in, guys. So yeah, if you are just jumping in, number 1, be sure to hit that like button. Number 2, be sure to hit the link at the top so you can follow along. And also, if you're not following PWCC on socials, make sure you follow them, because they're always doing lots of posts throughout the weeks in the lead ups to the auctions with lots of stuff that's upcoming. And as always, it's not just Pokemon that they do on their auctions, but that is what we cover here, just the Pokemon. So we're going to do a test now. We're going to go to the PWCC stream.
This next slide might not work.
We might have to change the mic on this next page because it might go
It looks
wrong.
like the top one picked it up though.
Okay, right. So we are going to switch the screen and we're going to pray that all looks good. Are we ready? Here we go.
Just click that.
There we go. Hopefully you can hear us. Okay, so it all looks good. So here we go. We have got the PWCC stream up. Oh, we got Taylor, member for 9 months. Hope you're both enjoying Florida. Thank you so much. So we're in our favourite place where we always go to in Florida, but we've never ever done a live stream from here before. So this is the first time.
You've never done a live
everything.
stream outside the UK on your own.
No.
setup.
And what was actually a bit weird was this morning there was the mother of all storms, so much so that our hotel room started leaking. Bear in mind we're on the 5th floor. It was I don't know if you guys are familiar with the Fort Myers, Sanibel area, but you'll know that they got hit really, really badly by Hurricane Ian last September. It was obviously nowhere near as bad, but it was brewing. It was brewing out there. There was a tornado warning, and I was worried that we'd have no internet, but luckily we're here and it's all going well. So you can see the screen. This is going to be completely normal now as per the previous stream. So it all looks good and all looks like it is working. Okay.
Just let us know that the connection holds up through the stream as well.
Because if anything drops, we are on the hotel Wi-Fi. So again, please just do bear with us on these on the road streams. But I'm glad everything looks good, and we know we can actually do this in the future now.
Bear with me, I'm a little bit hay fever.
Yeah, he's got hay fever. It's all going on, but it's all part of the fun. Sober Life Pokemon, can't wait to meet you at Collecticon. Really looking forward to it. So we're going to be at Dallas Collecticon all of next weekend. So that should be really, really fun. Right, how are we doing? It's really weird. I almost don't feel like I'm streaming on my channel because I'm not in my setup. Right, okay. So what you're looking at here is the weekly auction. Now we are going to get into this in about an hour's time. But what we're going to do for the first hour is we are actually going to look at the premiere auction. So on my screen here, you should be able to see where my mouse is moving. We got the weekly, we got the fixed price, and we got the premiere. So if we go to premiere, there's something very special going on because there is a TCG specific premiere for the first time. So as you can see here on the menu, hopefully you guys can see that.
Is this the first time you've covered the premiere?
Yeah, we've never done a premiere live stream, mainly because it's normally midweek, so it clashes with some of my other streams. And unfortunately, I did actually want to stream this premiere this time because it's the first time they're doing TCG specific, but I can't cover it because it's the day we're traveling from Florida to Texas, so it's literally impossible. So that's why we thought we would do like some bonus content on this stream. And I have actually put out a reel. I'm going to be doing some more content on socials, so again, make sure you're following Instagram. So this is what it looks like. As you can see, there's already some wild items, but I'm going to filter it here to the TCG Premiere Auction. So they have basically PWCC, when I say they, for the first time are doing something really, really special. So normally the premiere happens, I think it's every month. Don't quote me on that. It might be every, depending what they've got coming up. But it's not weekly, like the weekly auction. And normally it's a collective of items. You've got sports, you've got Pokemon, you've got all sorts in there. But I think what's happening is, as the Pokemon market just doesn't seem to be slowing down in any way, shape or form, there's so many items and so much interest in their premiere auction with Pokemon and TCG items that they decided to do a TCG specific premiere, which I kind of like the idea of, because obviously if you're watching the normal premieres and it's filled with lots of non-TCG like sports and you're not as interested, I feel like maybe sometimes it can sort of lose the attention and you sort of don't want to look through it all. But here it's, it's just TCG. So hopefully you guys are excited about this.
We found out last week that someone, if you've got an item that would fall into the category of the premiere, you can choose to put it on the weekly auction.
You can indeed.
To make it stand out against the other items.
Because last week we saw a PSA 10 Gold Star Rayquaza, and sorry, not last week, the week before, apologies. Last week we were in Paris and we didn't actually stream last week, so 2 weeks ago. And the person who was selling that card on PWCC actually messaged me saying they watched the stream and they enjoyed the content, but I had a question during the stream as to why that card was on the weekly and not the premiere. Obviously the caliber of the card pretty substantial, and they explained, basically.
So is the premiere auction still 10 days? Same as the weekly, because the weekly Thursday to the following Sunday.
It ran from the 20th of April to the 1st of May. So
I don't know how many days.
I don't know how many days that is, but yeah, you work that out for yourself.
And is there a price bracket where your item has to meet that price to be able to put in the premiere?
I'm not as familiar with the premiere, but we can have a little look on the details.
I thought it used to be $20,000 to make it into the premiere, but they might have dropped that to $10,000.
I think there has been a few adjustments recently with a few different things which we can cover as we go through. We got the EV Master gifting one membership. EV Master, thank you so much, and Kyle has caught that membership. Okay, so already on the premiere auction, you can't see it, but under where the camera box is, there is a little black box that says auction live, 4 days, 1 hour. So it's explaining to you basically when it all starts. Okay, so as you can see here, there are some huge items up on the premiere auction. And guys, if you've just jumped in, we're covering the premiere for an hour, which is like a little sneak peek into what's coming. The premiere actually ends on Thursday, and then we're going to start the weekly in about 45 minutes time. Okay, so already we have got the master key in a BGS 9.5 here, currently sitting at $40,000. Now, as you'll see, the price tag is a lot higher in the premiere. In the weekly, it's all budgets covered, literally anything you can think of. In the premiere, we're definitely looking at the higher end, higher caliber of the market, basically.
So I think that's one of the lowest print run sort of like standardized trophy cards that you can get.
Yeah, and it's it's not something you see come up very often either. I again keep an eye on several different auctions throughout the community, and it's not something you see pop up very often. Evie Master has just sent the super chat. Hey, I'm having a rough time at the moment, so you might not see me about for a bit, but enjoy your honeymoon. Evie Master, thank you so much. You did not have to do that. I appreciate you. We got Katie jumping in as well. Welcome in. So yeah, we got the master key in a BGS 9.5 up there.
Click that. Does it tell you the pop?
Let's have a little look. So normally what happens is you see there's normally like a subtitle under this main title here, and it normally says pop.
It says in the subtitle.
I don't know if it says the pop on here. It doesn't look like it does. Normally there's a subtitle to the title, but I can't see it there. But as you'll see, there is a little video, and there will be a little voiceover on that video. Normally, obviously, we're not playing it because we're speaking over it. Especially with these higher end items, it goes fairly in depth. So you can, if you want to basically mute me for a second and actually click on the website and look at it yourself, you'll be able to hear what's being said about that. It's probably just a brief rundown of the description here, as you can see. A lot of details right there.
Down the bottom. It says in the end 36 trainers became world champions.
But it doesn't say anything.
36 people got the master key?
It doesn't say anything about the pop though.
I can't remember what the pop is on it.
And guys,
but a big price tag for a 9.5.
Yeah, big price tag. And guys, if you can hear a bit of like rustling in the background, it's the laptop running, because like I said, it's pretty powerful. We got Mr. Lee #1. Welcome in. Do you have anything up for auction? I do not. So it's basically these. So first of all, we're covering the premiere on top of the weekly this week, which we don't normally do, having like a sneak peek at the premiere. But basically, this is just a watch along where we are watching along every week. I don't think I've had anything up during any of the auctions since doing these streams.
We had a
maybe yeah, that was like the second. That was like the second weekly in. But
we've got a few to go in.
There will be some coming, and I'll let you guys know what they are and when, but they're not up on the weekly or anything yet. So we got a Team Rocket Returns box right here. We got an Expedition box. So
we've got this interesting thing where one of them's been opened and one of them hasn't been.
And what was interesting as well is 2 weeks ago on the last weekly stream we did, there was a Ruby and Sapphire box, which is from the EX era, the same era as Team Rocket Returns, and it was opened. However,
has it got something to do with like the provenance of where the box comes from and the seller that's
I have no information about that.
Like if it's a ex-WotC employee and PWCC sort of know them personally.
If we see PWCC jump in the chat, it could be worth asking that question, because honestly, I'm not sure. Obviously, with all Wizards of the Coast boxes, we see them open, and we did see that Ruby and Sapphire box tamper sealed. However, this is from the same era. This has not been tamper sealed. Again, there will be a voiceover on this little video that you can see right here, but we're not playing it because obviously I'm speaking over it. So we've got Team Rocket Returns, we've got Expedition, which you can see has been tamper sealed. So basically what they do is on these little videos, they cut the box open, take all the packs out, show all the packs, and then you can see where it's been tamper sealed back up with the little silver stickers basically. Donald, welcome in. How are we doing? Thank you for joining, guys. If you have just jumped in, please hit that like button on your way in if you haven't already. So we're having a little sneak at the upcoming premiere auction. There's some real big items coming up. We have got a first edition Neo Genesis Lugia in a PSA 10. We've seen this quite a few times in a PSA 9, and I think there is a PSA 9 up in this week's weekly auction, which we'll see in a little while when we look at that.
I don't think we've seen one of these at auction for quite a while.
Certainly not while I've been doing any of these streams. And there looks like there's a little
yeah, what's the
let's have a little
sticker
look
on the back?
Let's have a little look. We're going to zoom in on this. There's a little sticker. DubaiCollection.com. Can you see that? Interesting.
Is that the people who have submitted it for auction?
Maybe.
They're just giving themselves some advertising.
Not sure. Interesting. So I haven't seen that before on a slab where there's like a an extra like security tag on it from someone.
Apart from the Dubsy collection.
Apart from Dubsy, but that's a whole different ball game. Right, okay, that's that. We've also got the Shadowless box right there, 17,500. We've got a Unicarp in a PSA 9 at 17,500. Now this is one that I wanted to look at right here. I don't need to open that in a new tab, do I? I can go straight to it. Hopefully you guys can still see everything okay and it's all running okay. We got Crusaders TCG member for 12 months, Chloe Hype, and birthday for me today. Dig in the E-Series. Happy birthday, Crusaders. Happy birthday. Guys, do remember on this premiere, there's still 4 more days. So these prices are definitely going to move. Obviously, it's not like the weekly where we're watching it the day that it ends. We're having a sneak peek here. So there's 4 more days until this this actually starts really kicking off. Right, so as you can see right here, this little subtitle that's like in light grey, it sits under the title. This is pop 1 of 1 right here. Chloe, welcome in. How are we doing? We got Trish and Trev in. We are live from Florida, people. We're on the road.
You can ask Trish and Trev how bad the weather was this morning.
Yeah, did you guys hear the storm? It was coming through. Our balcony door was leaking, like actually flooding underneath, and
it was raining inside.
We're like 5, 6 stories up as well. We got Pokey Dude, member for 2 months. Happy birthday to you as well. Oh my goodness.
Wait, hasn't Chloe actually met me in the flesh?
Chloe, you have seen Butler at card shows, no? He's normally there with me. I don't know if you'll remember. Okay, so right here we have something very, very big is the only way I can describe it.
Pokey Dean will like this one.
Pokey Dean will like this one. And also shout out to Dean, he's not here tonight. He's probably fast asleep. Haven't seen him in the chat tonight. Yeah, it was a wild storm. Literally, like from 3 o'clock in the morning, our hotel room door was like
just bouncing.
Rattling. I had to stuff a towel underneath it. Anyway, we have got here a CGC Pristine 10 Shadowless Charizard. This right here is something we've never seen before because it is population 1 of 1, none graded higher, and they actually specify that just here. So sometimes you have that little subheading underneath with regards to the pop. And again, you have your video showing the card off, you have your scans of the card right there. So it's 10, 10, 10, 9.5 on edges. This is a beauty. Would love to know what the chat thinks about this. Again, Premiere, they do not miss. They always have some of the biggest and the best items. Chloe's already bid on 2 things in the weekly today. And guys, just a reminder, if you just jumped in, this is the Premiere auction we're having a sneak peek at. We're going to start looking at the weekly auction in about half hour's time.
Wasn't there a PSA 10 Shadowless that sold on your last stream?
No? I can't remember.
Oh,
don't think so. Yeah, I don't think so.
I can't remember how much, because it'd be interesting to compare the PSA 10.
There's normally lots of first editions, unlimiteds and shadowless, but I don't think we've ever had a 10 on the weekly. Dean must be glad to be in his bed. Yeah, we haven't heard from him. Adriana, welcome in. How are we doing, guys? Please hit that like button on your way in. Yes, Donald, we're actually on our honeymoon right now. I think this is a first, yeah. Working on our honeymoon, but it's all part of the fun. So there we go. You get a real close-up of the card there. Like I said, there's videos with, I think, most of the items that you see here on the Premiere.
I think that's a really nice touch to the standard sort of auction format where they've got like an up-close video, because they do it with some of the single cards as well, so you can see the condition.
And there is a voiceover on these videos, but like I said, we're not playing them because obviously we're actually doing a running commentary basically alongside it. But this is a beauty right here, and we'll be really intrigued to see where this goes. And what I think we'll do is on next week's weekly auction, we'll see if we can see some of the prices that things sold for, because basically by the time we stream this time next week, the Premiere will have been and gone. It ends on Thursday, but unfortunately we can't catch it live, so maybe I'll do a recap on Sunday just to show you guys where things were going. So that is that.
That's a really cool card.
Really cool card in the original card case that it comes in. I know you like this card. You're quite a big fan of Mew.
Very nice card.
Seren's World, welcome in. How are we doing? So this is currently sitting at $15,500. Remember, guys, this Premiere has 4 days left on it, so there'll probably be quite a bit of movement in a lot of these prices. So yeah, basically, with these cards, this is the case that they're basically awarded in. So when you see these raw or when you see them graded, people have removed them from the case, and I think sometimes that can be a bit of a sticky process depending how long it's been in there and potential.
Because I think some grading companies also refuse to remove them themselves. If you want to grade one, I think you have to remove it yourself and then send it in like a normal card for grading. I think like you can see in the video where he's sort of holding where the screws are.
Yeah.
I think sometimes if you undo those screws and pull it apart, it can sometimes, depending on how long it's been in there and if the card's got a bit stuck or something, can potentially damage the card, I suppose. But yeah, I mean, I think rather than a graded copy, there's a lot of collectors who like the sort of natural in the trophy sort of card.
Because the actual physical acrylic case that you see here is actually really nice and colourful, and I think it looks really good. Green Tea has just pointed out, sorry, there was a PSA 10 base card that went for 6,600 2 weeks ago but wasn't shadowless.
Okay.
So that might be.
I think I've seen a shadowless.
Maybe that
in the
was
last few
elsewhere.
weeks, but I can't remember where. Yeah. I think I also saw one of these Victory or Muse. I can't remember where it sold. I think it was towards the end of last year. I think it went for like $28,000, but that is also a complete guess.
Okay.
But I think it's a fairly expensive card.
Don't quote him on that one, people. We've also got first edition base set. We got the Blastoise, currently at 12,500. Okay, this right here is a beauty. Absolutely love this. Again, kind of a less. I don't know what the right word would be. I don't want to use the word popular, but I
less
feel
known. I think.
Yeah,
rather
people
than less
maybe
popular.
aren't as aware. The number 2 trainer right here.
So I believe with this one, so under where it says number 2 trainer, I believe normally there's text which would indicate who the card's been awarded to.
Yeah, so as you can see right here.
How do they say about it? So I believe because this one's blank underneath, on the the grey border underneath number 2 trainer, I think that means this was initially a spare copy that was never.
I absolutely love this card. Some people might be able to guess why, because there's a huge Chansey in the background. I just feel like it's such a cute artwork on this one. But yeah, these again, don't see them coming up very often. Haven't had anything like this come up since we've been doing the weeklies, obviously, because this wouldn't appear on the weekly. It would only appear on the premiere. Again, there's a voiceover with these little videos, which just gives you a little bit of insight, but also there's huge bit of text basically to go with all the items that you see up on the premiere. As to the background of the card, a little bit of information on the card, so on and so forth.
I think a cool thing with these trophies are that they're actually not only individually sort of customised to the winner in that they get their name and like the region they won the card from. Obviously not this one because it's a spare, so it's blank. But also if a female won that tournament, it was a female trainer instead of the male trainer on the card.
I feel like when people look at these, if people aren't as aware of them, they might not realise they are trophy cards as such. But yeah, I've actually seen a little bit on social media recently talking about the male and female trainers with regards to this. But yeah, really cool card, really cool artwork on this one.
Rhett said, too bad Dean's not on tonight. There's a Tortank up
Oh
in the
my
weekly.
goodness, he'll be gutted. He will be absolutely gutted. So we've also got that. This is quite a cool thing here. We've got an XY Flashfire sealed booster box case. So we've seen Evolution sealed cases, we've seen Evolving Skies on the weekly, but obviously on the premiere we're stepping it up a notch and we're going to XY Flashfire. So XY era, I'd say Flashfire is definitely one of the more popular and more expensive sets. Obviously there's how many Charizards?
5?
4 or 5?
There's definitely at least 5.
There's definitely at least 4, possibly 5. Yeah, so
I can think of 5 in my head.
Okay, so 5. And yeah, so seeing a sealed case, so there's 6 booster boxes in here, all of them sealed, and then the case itself is still sealed. And as you can see on the side there of the carton, it's got the sticker which depicts basically what's inside. Seeing sealed cases of what you could maybe start to call more vintagey type boxes obviously holds quite a large value. Whether that person is going to keep the case sealed, put it away for years and maybe sell it down the line, whether they're going to open it and then have a nice large selection of booster boxes from that particular set. Quite a cool thing to see. Flashfire again, we haven't seen that. We've also got the Pikachu
That's another really big card.
Victory ring,
In
yeah,
the
again
original
sitting
case.
at 11,000. So we're seeing a few of these trophies in their original acrylic casing, which is pretty cool. This is a pretty cool thing as well. We have got a Chinese first edition base set booster box. We don't really see much Chinese. We see some Chinese cards up in the weekly. Haven't seen any Chinese sealed products since I've been doing the weekly auctions, I don't think. And obviously this being a bigger one, it's a Chinese first edition base set box, currently sitting at 10,500. We got Gold Star Latios in a PSA 10. We got a first edition Jungle box. There's a lot of sealed vintage, lots of really cool what you would call trophy cards as well. In the premiere this time round.
Green Tea said he googled it and there's 7 Charizards in Flashfire.
Oh, 7. Okay, there we go. So this one, want to say a massive shout out to our lovely friend Dubsy. This is actually direct from the Dubsy collection, which is pretty cool, and you'll be able to see the little the Dubsy tag on the back right there. One of the most incredible Pokemon collections in the entire world is the only way I can describe the Dubsy collection. But yeah, again, a very cool card that we don't see come up very often. And again, when we're talking about trophy cards, a lot of people think of the Kangaskhan or the Pikachu trainers. People maybe not as aware of some of the lesser known, I think is the best way to describe it. Really nice artwork on this. So this is from the black and white era, 2012, right there in a 10. We got the Daisuke Club Scroll right there in a PSA 9. Again, lots of cards we're seeing right here. Again, because we've never looked at the premiere before, we're kind of looking at a completely different caliber of items right here. And actually, a couple of people said to me that I saw in Paris, basically last weekend we weren't streaming because we were in Paris at La Gala, saying how impressed they were with some of the items that were up for grabs on this week's auction. Lots of base set booster boxes.
That scroll has a crazy holo on it as well.
Yeah.
It's like a really nice card to
and
look
the way
at.
that it runs all the way through to the border as well looks really nice.
I'm surprised there's a green wing.
There's a green
booster
wing
box
and
that isn't shadow. Oh, and 2 unlimited.
Yeah, and 2 unlimited. We've got a first edition Zard as well in a BGS 9. We got a first edition Fossil box in a... Yeah, I was about to say in a PSA something or other. I was like, where am I going with this? A first edition Fossil box. We've actually got a few first edition starters in 10s. Blastoise and Venusaur.
So this next one's really cool.
Yeah, the...
trio of Trainer Deck B in... Are they all PSA 10?
They are indeed.
Yeah.
Blastoise, Squirtle and Wartortle. And basically you'll be able to see on the back right here. These are pretty cool to look at. There we go. I'll leave that spinning around just so you can kind of get the gist. And then, so that is what the back of the cards look like. The Trainer Deck B. Don't think I've ever seen...
I've never seen 3 10s auctioned together.
No. And it be in the evolution line. Gold Star Latios, beautiful card, beautiful card. Let us know, guys, as we're going through these, what your favourites are. We're going to go to page 2.
Ooh.
Okay, so we actually saw a PSA 10, another one from the Dubsy collection right here. We actually saw a PSA 10 Expedition Charizard on the weekly about 7 or 8 weeks ago now.
Sold for $12,000.
Can't even remember. That sounds about
right. I
right.
think it sold for $10,000 plus buyer's premium, so it made it 12.
So this is pretty cool. Another one right here. 2002 Expedition. So on the channel, we have opened a lot of Expedition. Well, when I say we, I have opened a lot of Expedition. You haven't. Although you have
opened
actually.
A couple of packs.
You've opened some off camera. So.
I pulled a Mew.
I actually pulled this card.
Not that one.
Not this exact card, but I actually pulled the holo Charizard from Expedition. It did not come back a 10, unfortunately. The cards that we pulled from the Expedition packs, myself and Dean, and the ones you pulled, were rough graded.
Terrible. I think we sent 24 holos to PSA, and we got 1 10 and like probably half and half 8s and 9s from the rest.
It was painful, is the only way I can describe it. But it was fun to open. Kind of wanted to hit some 10s on maybe a few of the bigger ones just to keep as like a momentum, to be like, we pulled this had like, and we caught it on video and all that sort of stuff. But it didn't go to plan, but it was a very, very fun experience. So another one from the Dubsy collection, you can see the little Dubsy sticker on the back right there, which is really, really cool. And it's a beautiful card. And like you said, around $12,000 it went for. That was about 7 or 8 weeks ago. That was quite a while ago now. It might have actually been even longer than that, to be fair. It might have been around 10 weeks ago. That was quite near the beginning when I actually started doing the weekly PWCC streams. So it'd be interesting to see. Yes, it was. A friend of mine, David, that the first one that we saw auctioned was his. Yeah, it was quite a while ago now, so it'll be interesting to see where that one goes. Okay, this right here,
sequential set.
This is big. So basically, we have seen on, I'd say, probably 70% of the weekly auctions at least one or if not all of these cards. So this is the Mario and Luigi Pikachu collaboration.
Well, it's actually quite a high pop. It's just really popular cards.
Yeah.
So there's loads of them, but they're expensive.
We'll get into that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Butler's one step ahead of me. So this is both the full arts, both the half arts. These come in the sealed boxes, which I've shown before. I haven't got them behind me on my backdrop, because I don't have my backdrop here with me at the moment. And basically, we have seen the full art Mario go for an insane, if not possibly record price about 4 weeks ago. And then 2 weeks ago, it came back down slightly, but still very, very high price. So to see all of these go up all together, the cert numbers are also sequential. I know some people like that who are collecting the sets as well. It's like their one opportunity to get their hands on all 4 of them being 10s and them being sequential certs. It's kind of like, you know, adding bonus after bonus onto it. These are, like the Butler was saying, very high pop. There's a lot of them. These are not vintage promos. These are not from the early 2000s or anything like that. They're from 2016. I think that's what people start to forget when some of these, it's maybe if they're newer to the hobby as well, they, you know, these sort of cards are put on a pedestal and they see the price of them and think, oh my goodness, like these vintage cards. I mean, maybe some people would call 2016, no, we're not calling it vintage. It's not vintage yet. Yeah, these are not, you know, old cards.
Maybe that shows you the power of a collab with a sort of name as big as Mario.
Yeah, these are fairly new promos, 2016, but they are extremely popular, and they are they're only going up and up in price. But I personally love them.
I think it'd be cool to see more collabs similar.
People have said this every time this comes up on these cards come up on the weekly, and we talk about the Mario Luigi collab. Everyone has said it's like overdue. I feel like it was around 2 years ago. People were hinting there might be something coming, and nothing ever came. Whether it's still coming, we don't know about it. Nothing ever came of it. So it would be amazing to have something of this caliber again. This kind of level, collaboration-wise, with, you know, again, the cards speak for themselves. Whether we'll see that in the near future, in the distant future, I don't know, but would love to see in the chat what you think would be an incredible collab for Pokemon to do along these kind of lines again, if you could choose. But yeah, so basically you buy the sealed boxes, and inside you get your sleeves, your dividers, what else comes in there? Obviously the cards, the deck box. So basically in the Luigi box you get the Luigi full art and the Luigi half art. In the Mario box you get Mario full art, Mario half art.
I think the dividers are also
themed against whether it's Mario or Luigi as well. I've got a video that's about probably 2 years old or so on my channel where I opened the boxes. So if you go all the way back into what I would call the dusty archives, you might be able to find that video of me opening it. I have bought several sealed boxes and opened them. I have bought several copies of these cards raw as well. Sometimes I've bought them graded. I love these cards. I will keep buying them because I just can't stop, but they are very expensive at the moment.
We've got a popular selection in the chat of DBZ Pikachus, so
interesting.
A Goku
Mortal
Pikachu.
Kombat. Okay, this is it would be nice to see Disney collab. Interesting, because Disney
I'm not
actually,
sure.
I don't know.
Who are they allowed to?
Yeah, because
like,
obviously
do
Disney
things
are
with?
launching Lorcana later this year, so Disney, I don't think that would ever. I mean, maybe they would do a Lorcana. I don't know.
I don't know what they're allowed.
Yeah, I don't know what they're allowed and not allowed to do. But yeah, Miss Lee saying can see the Mario Pikachu Luigi PSA 10 set go for 30k in the near future. I don't think you're wrong in that. I think down the line, in a few years, this could be one of those sets that just keeps slowly
going.
creeping. Like you said, it's the popularity basically. So yeah, really interesting. They're all PSA 10s and they're sequential, so I feel like that adds even more basically for the people looking for them. Someone might want to put this set together in all 10s and they've only ever been able to find them, you know, a few older certs, a few newer certs. It's a bit of an OCD thing maybe if you're that bothered about it, but there'll be some people that are, so again, very cool. Okay, this is an interesting one right here. I actually featured this on my reel that I put out on Instagram. So here we have, again, not a vintage product at all.
Same year, isn't it?
No, 2017. So a year newer than the Mario collab. This is the 20th anniversary Team Rocket case. So inside this case, what you would normally find is the case itself. You open it up, you have your sleeves, you have your coin, and you'd normally have 2 raw cards. However, in this case has already been opened, and the cards have been graded. Not only have they been graded, they are both PSA 10s. Now, the Giovanni's Persian is one of the most, like, if you're into this more modern promo side of things, is definitely a huge card, I think is the best way I could describe
Giovanni's
it.
Scheme.
Giovanni's Scheme. It's a beautiful, beautiful card. And then both being 10s as well. Again, huge. So I actually, on my old backdrop, had the empty Team Rocket case. I mean, this is, again, a product that's just growing and growing in price. I think, obviously, to do with the cards as well.
It wasn't completely empty.
No, it
had
wasn't.
The deck box sleeves and coin.
Yeah, but it didn't have the cards in it. It didn't have the cards in it. So yeah, really, really cool. And I love the little video they've done here of it, the camera above rotating again. So there is scans of the cards. One thing I do notice is these are pretty old certs. These are 27mm certs, and we're currently on like 75 million, I think. So they are 27, aren't they?
So that must have been.
They are sequential as well, so it looks like they've been graded by the same person.
Around 2020, I think.
Mega Pokey Chris said, love these cards, but not for those prices. They're expensive cards.
And I think that will go quite a lot higher.
Yeah, it will. Again, both PSA 10, not vintage. We're talking like newer promos, but again,
I think the latest sales just on the Giovanni are like $6,500–7,000. So I wouldn't be surprised if this gets to 5 figures.
Yeah, and here you're getting the Team Rocket as well as the case and, you know, everything that comes inside. So yeah, very, very cool item. And that's why I thought it'd be a really good idea to have a little sneak peek at the premiere, because this is not stuff we really get to see ever, let alone on auction. So so we have the Japanese Gold Star Rayquaza in a Gem Mint 10 with an authenticated signature, which is pretty cool.
So the card's graded a 10.
Yes.
And the
signature hasn't been graded.
Has been authenticated.
Yeah, it's just been authenticated. It hasn't been graded 1 to 10. There's lots of different variations for how you can grade signatures or authenticate signatures. You can grade the card and the signature. You can just grade the signature. You can authenticate the signature. You can authenticate the card. They're like all different. I'll sound like a broken record if I keep going on. So in this case, the card itself is a 10 and the signature has just been authenticated. It hasn't been graded between 1 and 10. The signature looks like it's been done in either silver or like a white colour or like grey.
Yeah, it's probably not the
really
colour I choose
light.
on
Yeah.
that
I would have gone for a darker colour personally, but again, something
it also
pretty
looks
cool.
like one of the newer, sort of the last 2 years, that's been signed because it's personalised, but personalised, does that say to collector?
It looks like it
So
does,
it's like
yeah.
depersonalised.
Yeah. So yeah, pretty cool.
Another one from Dubsy.
This, oh yeah. Loads from the Dubsy. So this right here, now I know Dean likes this one.
It's a very cool card.
This is a very, very cool card. Again, a 2016 promo.
I'd imagine the pop on this is quite high as well, but again, just because it's like the OG starters. It's
Yeah,
one of the
I
more
think
popular.
maybe this one is where it holds its price so much because it's got Charmander, Bulbasaur and Squirtle on the artwork. Don't get me wrong, the artwork itself is just incredible. But yeah, the 2016 is the 20th anniversary Festa, so maybe that's where it holds a little bit more because it's the 20th anniversary as well, and it's got the starters. Maybe it's a combination of things. But yeah, this is in a BGS 10, and can we see, so that's 10, 10, 10, and then the centering's a 9, 5 on that one. So that
Is Dubsy selling that because he's got a black label?
Maybe, could you imagine? And then we're getting interesting here. So we have got a German first edition base set Charizard in a PSA 10, otherwise known as the Glurak. This, I don't think I've ever seen this before. The 1996 Pokemon Gold gift box.
So that must be Japanese base set.
What does it say? Just having a little read of the description right here.
Oh, the Ivy Pikachu, and so is that the glossy? I thought that was Koro, the Jigglypuff and the Ivy Pikachu that were glossy.
Yeah.
I thought were the first ever Koro promos, but maybe this is like a non-glossy version of the Koro promos.
Interesting.
Not
Seeing
sure.
at 3,750. Again,
It's
don't think
pricey.
I've ever seen that before, so that is pretty cool. We have got, ooh,
That's cool. So that's the same sort of thing as the Mew
Yeah,
Victory, but
and
obviously not the Mew
and the Pikachu as well
specific
that
one,
we saw.
but in the original.
Whereas this
awarded
is in,
case.
this is more of like a frame sort of style rather than like the acrylic case. Again, sitting at 3,750. Okay, this right here is a beauty. So this is the Plasma Storm Charizard in a PSA 10. So this is black and white era. So black and white is a little bit of a slept on era. I know it's not everyone's favourite. I personally am not the biggest black and white fan. My favourite set from black and white, and if you watch the channel you're going to know before I even say it, is Legendary Treasures. I don't care for a lot of the black and white sets. I'm just not a massive fan.
I think the shinies are really cool.
Yeah.
That's about the only thing.
Getting into that, the shinies stand out. This in particular, in Japanese, this is a huge card as well. We actually saw the Japanese PSA 10 up on the weekly about 4 or 5 weeks ago. Can you remember what that went for? 'Cause I
It
know
went for
let's-
$5,400 with premium.
Right, okay, there we go. Exact number for you right there. So yeah, this is obviously the English version, Plasma Storm. Japanese, it's Plasma Gale. But I can't explain to you until you see this in person. The shine that's on the Charizard is like a glitter disco ball. It's incredible. It looks really, really good. What else have we got here? Another one from the Dovesy collection right here. So this is a Japanese base set Charizard in a Beckett 10 as well. Again, beautiful card. And we're seeing, so have we seen, we've seen CGC, Beckett and PSA all in the premiere.
Yep.
We've seen booster boxes, we've seen cases, we've seen other, how would you describe, like the Team Rocket case and that gift box, like other
sealed items,
yeah,
yeah.
sealed product, but the Team Rocket case has been open because the cards have been graded. Sorry guys, I am trying to keep up with the chat, but it's on a different screen over here. So Connor, welcome in. How are we doing? We're having a little bonus hour right here where we're just having a little look at the premiere auction before we get into the weekly. We're coming to you live from Florida on the road, where it is currently 8:48 p.m. Connor, if you're bidding on anything tonight, do let us know. And guys, remember in the chat you can click on the weekly auction. It's pinned at the top of the chat. In about 10 minutes we're going to move on to the weekly, but we did just want to have a little bonus looking at the premiere. This is pretty cool. I know you like these. These are for the these are for position only. Another Dovesy collection right here.
He's cashing in.
Currently at $3,000 in a PSA 10. Really cool cards. You can't, I don't know if you guys can see it, but it says for position only, like in the centre of the artwork.
I don't think you tend to see too many PSA 10s of this.
No, I was going to say.
I see a lot of Beckett FPO cards.
I think there was a Blastoise. Where did I see the Blastoise? Was that on a weekly, or did I see that somewhere else? There's been a Blastoise up recently somewhere, but it wasn't a 10. It was like a Beckett 8, I think. We've got a Japanese Gold Star Charizard in a PSA 10. My goodness, there's some huge items on here. This is really cool. So, right here, this actually, if you stare at it for too long, makes your eyes go really, really trippy. So here, you can see an Eevee and a Kingler trying to merge into one, basically. Pokemon Shed, welcome in. How are we doing?
On the back of all of these double printed ones, they've put the sheet position and signified it. Does that mean
sheet position B11?
Yeah, so when they're on the uncut sheet, it's A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and then obviously numbers.
But they've specified on the back of the CGC slab. So basically,
does that mean CGC were a part of cutting the sheet and they know that all of them have been cut and they've then specified all of them?
Not sure. Interesting. So basically with CGC you can get pedigrees on the slab. So like with PSA, for example, when Logan Paul did his box break, it's one of the only things I can think of where there's been like a big pedigree. Sorry, I thought I got bitten then. On the front of the PSA slab, where you'd have like the set name, the card name, blah blah blah, there'd be then like an extra line that said something like Logan Paul box break.
Yeah.
With CGC, they put the pedigree on the back of the slab. So we've seen things like Chumley collection. We had it for our Worlds box break that we did. I've seen it for loads of different things, but here they've basically defined the position on the sheet and they've put it on the back where they'd normally put that pedigree.
One thing I didn't know with this, I mean, I don't know if it's the whole sheet or if it's just this card, but it's 120% of the proceeds going to charity. That means the person selling it is donating 100%, and I'd imagine PWCC are bumping up the 20%.
So, interesting.
I haven't seen that advertised anywhere.
This
It's
charity,
titled as the NAMI charity auction.
yeah, this charity is the charity that Leon Hart works with a lot as well. So
but I didn't know he was anything to do with the uncut sheet.
maybe he's not. Maybe we're just tying the two up.
I remember,
because I know there are some other people actually that work with this charity that I've seen
I remember,
in the community as well.
Charlie had the double, was it a Ghastly and Psychic Energy that he took on Pawn Stars?
Oh, okay, yeah.
And he asked if they wanted to buy, I can't remember what happened with that, but he obviously had one. I don't know if that's from a different sheet, so there's actually two that
I'm
have
just
been
reading
cut,
the description here just to see.
or if it was off this sheet as well.
It doesn't say any details, so we can't comment or know anything about that. But yeah, and as you can see, the actual card is square cut as well, obviously, where it's literally been cut off the sheet. But yeah, that is really interesting that they've put the sheet position. So I wonder if they
had
witnessed
a part to play in
or
cutting all of them.
I don't know. Interesting. I don't know if anyone in the chat will know, but yeah, again, something pretty cool. And then this is pretty cool right here. I saw this when I was looking through.
There's actually a surprising number of these that I've seen over like the last couple of years.
There's been a couple of collections. I'm trying to think.
I think I've probably seen 5 or 6 different ones of these.
Yeah, over like.
And considering it's like a unreleased, like it was never produced for actual release.
There was a collection that either got offered to me or someone emailed about this, and I don't think we could, because it was part of a larger collection. I don't think we could agree on a price and they didn't want to sell things
I
individually.
don't think we've seen an auction for one
No.
for a while.
Again, that's why I wanted to open this one up, which is pretty cool. Connor says, I'm not bidding this week. No new rainbow rares that I don't have, and paid a pretty good price last week for a Japanese legendary shine. Oh, damn, Connor. So we missed last week because we were in Paris. And as you might notice, I haven't got Dean with me here this evening. I've got the butler. We're currently on our honeymoon. But, you know, PWCC needs must, people. So, yeah, we're basically having a little sneak peek at the premiere to see what's coming up. So just to give you a little bit of insight, I'm going to go back to page 1 right here. The premiere is a TCG specific premiere that's it went live on the 20th of April and it ends on the 4th of May. I said the 1st of May earlier. It wasn't the 1st of May, it's the 4th of May. That was my bad. It ends on the 4th of May. I did want to try and stream the premiere live like we do with the weekly, but unfortunately it's the day that I'm traveling from Florida, where we are currently, to Texas. So we can't do that, so I thought I would do a bonus hour on this stream before we get into the weekly momentarily. And this is the first time they're doing a TCG specific. I think where the level of the influx maybe of products that are coming in at the premiere level, as you can see, some real high-end items right here, which, I mean, Expedition Booster Box, Team Rocket Returns Box, we got trophy cards, we got first edition Lugia, an incredible Pop 1 CGC Pristine 10 Shadowless Zard. I mean, they really have stepped it up for this auction. And like I said earlier, I actually had some people mention to me while I was at a card show the other week, because they know, a lot of people, like friends that I met up with, obviously know that I stream the weekly normally, were saying they couldn't believe the level and how impressive this TCG premiere is and is going to be. So this actually, the extended bidding, as you can see at the bottom right here, I don't know why I'm pointing at the screen, you can't see me doing that, I'm going to circle it with my arrow. Extended bidding starts in 4 days, so that is Thursday. Underneath our camera box, there's a little black box that says time remaining, you just can't see it because we've covered it. So is extended bidding on premiere the same as the weekly? No, it's different, and I need to find out what the exact rules are for it, because I think I would like to try and live stream one of the premieres at some point. It's just unfortunate this one can't work out because of timing, but I would like to do that. But there is a differentiation. Yeah, that's the word I'm going for. In the rules. So when I can, you know,
so is it back to like the old?
I don't know. I need to speak to PWCC.
Extended where you have to have a bid in beforehand. You don't know.
I don't know. He's not my favourite co-host, I'm not going to lie. I don't know, so I need to speak to people. Before I basically said that I was going to do this bonus hour, they explained to me that the rules do differ slightly. So I think what we'll do is we'll do a premiere specific live stream 1 week.
That'd be cool.
Maybe instead of the weekly, we'll see what comes up and how we can time it. But we'll do a premiere specific, because I think that'd be pretty cool.
Welcome in, Errol.
We got Errol joining the membership. We got Buddy, member for 5 months, using my milestone shout out for the honeymooners. Hope you're both having a blast.
Thank you, Buddy.
In the States. Thank you very much. So the place we are right now, we normally come here every single year, and we didn't really get to come here last year. It's not Orlando, Katie, sorry. We don't really go to Disney or that. We haven't been for like 8 years. Don't get me wrong, I love Disney, but this is like our Florida holidays and not Disney holidays. They are
relaxing holidays. We're in Disney 2 weeks ago.
We went to Disneyland Paris. We did indeed. But yeah, we're on like a relaxing.
1 week ago.
1 week ago. A week ago tomorrow.
It wasn't even a week ago.
Yeah, it wasn't even a week ago. We were in Disneyland Paris 6 days ago. That was super fun. It's been a busy couple of weeks, guys. But yeah, I actually got to see some of the team from PWCC last week at Gala as well, which was really, really fun. When they go to Disney, they only go to Paris. Green Tea, it was my first time at Disneyland Paris, and I don't want the Disney people to come for me on this one. It's nowhere near as good as Orlando. I'm going to say it. If you hate me and you're going to cancel me for it, I apologise, but Orlando Disney is different scale. Paris was okay, but I think the Spider-Man ride ruined it. That was quite bad. We queued for like 2 hours and it was horrendous. It was awful. Okay. So the premiere happens, or the bidding extended period starts on Thursday.
4 days and 1 hour.
That said 4 days and 1 hour for a while. I don't know if it's because I haven't refreshed. Oh no, maybe it's because it's about to come up to.
Yeah, because you haven't. You got
I think
2 minutes.
it's going to be 9 p.m. Eastern on Thursday. That it actually
So
starts.
it's actually probably 4 days and 1 minute.
Yes. But it says 1 hour because it's not counting down in minutes. Yeah, there we go, being specific again. So we're not going to be able to catch it live, but what I am going to try and do is next Sunday, we'll be coming to you live from Dallas. I am going to try and do like a recap of some of the items because I really want to see where some of these end. And
Are you going to put some of it on Instagram, or are you just going to...
I am going to... So basically, I say this every single week. Make sure you're following the Instagram, guys. I post content for absolutely everything I'm doing on there. And I've actually been doing some reels recently and some other Instagram grid posts with regards to some of the items on the auctions. And it's pretty good for you guys to have like a little insight if you don't really know what's coming up. I try and pick out a few bits to cover. So make sure you are keeping an eye on my Instagram. It's Pokey Chloe. Same. I'm Pokey Chloe on everything: Twitter, Instagram,
Everywhere.
TikTok, you name it, YouTube. But yeah, so do check it out over there because I am going to try and see if I can get something up this week. It'll either be a story or a grid post or something along those lines for the premiere. But I think, and Green Tea, being top mod that he is, has just dropped the Instagram link in the chat right there. Card Party Disney is going to be yours soon. Honestly, Talisa, we're in Anaheim for Card Party, but we don't know how long we're staying for. I don't know if we're going to get to do Disney California or not. I don't know if Dean would want. I don't know if Dean's going to want to. He wasn't the biggest fan of Disneyland Paris. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna.
It's just
lie.
a big worse.
I had someone gone from Cardiff to Dallas yesterday. No way. So it's CollectorCon next weekend. So it's a big card show that happens. They sort of do it all around the country. We went to Orlando CollectorCon back in February.
That was good fun.
Make sure you check out my vlog that only went up like a few weeks ago. And yeah, we're going to be doing Dallas. And the reason I'm going to Dallas CollectorCon is number one to be at CollectorCon, but number two, I'm picking up the biggest Pokemon purchase I've ever made. I keep forgetting it is that because it doesn't necessarily seem like that against some of the other... I can't give it away because I want to reveal it to you guys in some way. I haven't planned how I'm going to do that yet. But yeah, I'm making the biggest purchase I've ever made since doing Pokemon as a job, career, or just being in the hobby.
There's been some big ones.
And there's been some big purchases, so keep your eyes peeled for that. It will be revealed in some way or another. I don't know how yet, but yeah, that's also happening in Dallas, which will be pretty cool. Okay, right, guys, I think it's time. Should we log on to the weekly? So, premiere auction, we're going to miss you. I'm going to keep my eye on you guys again Thursday. If you want to watch it live, I won't be live streaming it because I'm traveling, but I will definitely be keeping tabs on it. Okay, right, so we're going to go to the weekly up here. So we click that little weekly button. And boom, there we go. So it should already be filtered to Pokemon, highest to lowest, and weekly auction. So basically with the weekly, guys, you can, there's a huge filter down the side here, which I'm going to quickly show you now before we start. So I've filtered to Pokemon. I've typed Pokemon at the top in the search bar. I've chosen auction number 67 because that's this week. 68 is next week. You can actually look ahead into the next week's auction, but we're going to focus on this week, obviously, because it's all ending tonight. You can choose your category. You can choose whether you want... Say if you are just a CGC collector and you don't want to have to scroll through everything, you can narrow it down to your grader right there, to your minimum price, to your maximum price. There's a bit of everything.
Someone mentioned earlier in the chat it'd be good if you could itemize it to language. So if you only wanted Japanese, you only wanted English, or if you're actually a foreign language collector and only wanted like Italian or something, you can specifically find those ones quicker.
Yeah.
I presume though, if you typed in Pokemon Japanese,
I think
in the
it would
search
come
bar,
up with
bring
everything,
them all up.
anything that's in the title.
Yeah, rather than ticking the box, you can get around it by typing in.
So the filter helps massively because if you are only looking for specific things or you want to type something in the search bar and look for something specific, it will help you because this week there are 3,412 Pokemon items. Just Pokemon. We're not talking about any sports, any other TCG, just Pokemon items.
That's a lot, but it's not the most.
No, I think the most we've seen is just under 7,000.
That's a lot.
Which, when you think about it, is an awful lot. So we're going to have a little look. We're going to try and... So every single week we always end up getting stuck on like a few items, and before we know it, time is up. So we're going to try and cover like as much as we possibly can, looking through. This is really, really weird. So I just need to say this. On this laptop, it thinks it's in England.
Yeah.
And it's 2 a.m. in England and it's the 1st of May. But here, it's 9 p.m. in Florida and it's still the 30th of April. So I've got a laptop in the future and a laptop in the past. Anyway, fun fact. Okay, so there's lots of cool items up tonight. We're starting at the highest, working all the way down, as
Green Tea's
always.
just put some cool stats in the chat.
Would you like to read that? You've got your chat here. We'll let the butler...
You've done a search earlier, and tonight there are 16 black labels and 702 PSA 10 slabs, 105 CGC 10, and 309 NBA authenticated raw cards.
Did you say NBA or MBA? Okay.
It's mud.
M for mother. It's his hay fever, people. Connor just said, I want to see Chloe try to explain sports cards. Connor, I wouldn't even know where to start. I'm not going to lie to you. I have no clue about sports cards. All I know is that my brother always asks me to keep an eye out for LaMelo Ball.
What's the one Amber likes?
Jason Tatum. He had to apologise to Cheryl or Janet Jackson this week.
Really?
Because I think he...
Let's not get into sports politics.
Because what did they like? It meant they had to play another game, or the game was going to go on longer, and it was going to clash when she had a concert booked. I think at the same place they were going to be playing. So he apologised to her because I think it was him that caused that. But obviously, I don't think that's a bad thing. I don't know whether that's accurate, but I saw something about Jason Tatum in the news. Anyway,
that's all the sports you're getting.
Anyway, that's your sports report for tonight, people. I don't know what I'm talking about. Okay, right, let's get into what I do know what I'm talking about, Pokemon.
Back to spiky-eared Pichus.
So, we have got some design contest cards coming up in tonight's auction. Now, you're probably fairly familiar, if you've been watching the auctions a lot, with the Zoroark design contest. There is also the Pichu and Arceus design contest cards. The Pichu and Arceus don't make as much of an appearance on these auctions, nor do we see them talked about or shown as much, but they are beautiful, and we will take a look at the PSA 10 we've got right there. It's currently at $13,000 just to kind of enhance how sort of, rare, pop one of 3 in a 10 as well.
I can't remember, with the Pichu and the Arceus the same set? Same design, where I presume it was all children, but they could choose whether they designed around the Pichu or the Arceus. Like the other set was, you could choose the Zoroark or the Zoroark.
I'm pretty sure, yes, because I actually did a little bit of research because I wasn't as familiar with the Pichu and Arceus design contest set.
There's a lot lower pop on the Pichu and Arceus than the
compared to the Zoroark.
And then these are a year older.
Which we've actually seen a lot of. Okay, there's also sealed product, Jungle First Edition, which we also can see in the premiere as well. The games clash with the concert. See, I did know what I was talking about loosely. We have also got a Unicarp in a 7. We have a Unicarp in a 9 in the premiere as well. Our black label Moonbryon right here, the Umbreon VMAX, currently at $5,000. So, how long ago now? Like, Green Tea is probably going to know the exact date. No, way longer than that.
Was it?
Yeah, it was near the beginning. When we started doing these weekly streams, we saw a black label Moonbryon, Umbreon VMAX from Evolving Skies, English as well, sell for $12,000, which, I mean, we were watching it happen live and couldn't quite believe it. We then saw a black label Green Tea. Was it last week that it sold? Was it the stream that we missed? And did it go for around $6,000 or $7,000?
I'm pretty sure.
I'm going to wait for Green Tea to confirm that.
Was there one on eBay that sold for like 8.6 as well?
That was a little bit after.
Because I think it's like Pop 75 or something. There's actually quite a lot of them.
You made me lose my train of thought now. But last week on PWCC, it was the 6,900 last week. That's what I thought. Yeah, so we missed it last week. But there's another one up this week, which they're all now starting to come out of the woodwork, which is interesting.
People have seen the price,
but it's not holding. It's that it's not going to hit that 12,000. The fact it hit that £12,000 mark was just dollars. Sorry, was just. I've literally got no words for it. I just don't understand how that happened, and I think that is confirmed with now the price literally halving from what happened before. So yeah, be interesting to see if this one here is still at 5,000, which is it's just mind blowing that an alternate art from less than 2 years ago in a black label, whereas there are some like low pot vintage hollows that don't get anywhere. I don't know, maybe it's like the Umbreon VMAX is like the kids of today. It's like their Charizard, like base set Charizard.
Those 8-year-olds spending $6,000 on a.
Those 8-year-olds spending all their pocket money. If you're 8 years old and you're getting that sort of pocket money, I'm living the wrong life. Connor's saying always too scared to buy graded cards from eBay. Too many scammers. I mean, it's no matter where you are and what happens, and we've seen so much. I don't know what the right word is, drama or controversy in the hobby. I feel like these last 2 to 3 weeks, all I've seen day after day is something happening somewhere, whether it's on a platform somewhere, whether it's in person somewhere. Unfortunately, you're always going to encounter bad apples with things. You just have to be diligent and be careful.
I think sometimes with things like the PWCC auction, sometimes they have a bit of a premium over where things sell in other places, but they hold every item that's for sale.
So you're not
so you know that you'll always get the item because it's coming
Joe
direct
Blogs
from them.
Who's going to send you out a
they get
fake
the
Umbreon
item,
VMAX or whatever it is.
they authenticate it and then they list it. So as soon as you're the winning bidder, it's coming straight out to you.
Mm-hmm. So I can see where Connor is saying that basically having comfort in that makes it a more confident buying experience. We got Shinings up tonight, first edition. We've got autos. So we've got this first edition Charizard. The card has been authenticated. The card has been authenticated. The signature has been graded. It's like a tongue twister, making
so
sure
this is the other way round.
This is the opposite way round to what we saw. I can't go into it again because it's not gonna get my words out.
But you can choose to grade both or authenticate both.
Yes, you can choose whatever suits you, whatever you like, whatever tickles your fancy. Chloe saying, bless you, introduced me to this, to be honest. Chloe, I love it. I love your, number one, you're DJing because it is 2:11 a.m. where you are. So you're part of the late night gang. I love it. And second of all, let us know what you end up winning tonight. Once you've won it, if you don't want to reveal beforehand, that's fine. We got Poncho Pikachu's up tonight. We got the Rayquaza and the Charizards.
It's a really cool Pikachu.
Love this Pikachu, and it always comes up really, really dark on scans and pictures. Yeah. I've actually had this card myself personally. I've owned this before, and even in person, never able to get a good picture of it under any light. The card always looks dark and faded. In person, it shines bright like a diamond. Shout out Rihanna. The camera just in case if Rihanna's watching these PWCC auctions, I've made it. I'm living a different life. The camera just can't pick up the colour of this card in any way, shape, or form. And you've probably seen this on one of my PSA submission videos like last year, like middle of last year, and even then, like under the ring light, it still just doesn't pick up. But in person, it looks beautiful. Anyway, that's my rant on that. We got the Gold Star Umbreon. We got the Scream or the Munch Pikachu in a 10. I actually picked up a copy of this recently. I'm putting together the set myself. I now only need, I still need the Mimikyu and the Psyduck.
Yep.
Why are you smiling at me like that?
Bought the Psyduck.
But I bought the Psyduck.
I needed the Mimikyu.
I only need the Mimikyu. I picked up the Pikachu at the European International Championships at the XL. Wasn't planning on it, just happened. Going to be putting the set together much quicker.
Funny story about the Pikachu.
Then I thought,
got scammed buying it off another platform.
yes. Going back to what Connor said, there are scammers out there everywhere, people, so be careful.
Bought one of those, never got sent.
Yeah, that was wild. We won't get into that.
Buy
but
from PWCC,
yeah,
kids.
guys, be careful what you're doing. The Lugia first edition in a PSA 9, we can see this on the Premiere in a PSA 10, which I mentioned
Be interesting
earlier.
to see the price difference.
Yeah, which we won't know about because the Premiere doesn't end till Thursday. We got the PSA 9 Full Art Mario, obviously on the Premiere. We have the full set sequential in 10s as well. Talisa is right, Psyduck is hard to get in a 10. The common problem with the Munch Psyduck is the centering. It is normally, if not always, off-center.
I think the Mimikyu's the hardest as well, so you've left the two hardest.
So
to the
yeah,
end,
the
haven't you?
Mimikyu is...
Because the Mimikyu's most expensive.
Mimikyu is the most expensive.
But I don't think it had a shorter print run. I think it's just got less tens, is it?
But the Psyduck is...
Same.
Yeah, the Psyduck centering is normally what the issue is there. We got a first edition Dragonite from Team Rocket in a 10. Beautiful card. We got Glurax. We got base Zards. We got more English first edition base set. We've got the Alterna Art Glaceon from Evolving Skies in a black label, Beckett black label.
Cool.
I think it's the first time we've seen this in a Beckett Black Label. I think we might have seen it in Japanese. Currently at $1,075. Like I said, we're going to move through this a bit quicker tonight, so we kind of get to that middle point, which I feel like we miss a lot. There's a PSA 10 Japanese AR7 currently going for $58. Do you know what, green tea, that breaks my heart because I need the English. I need the English. I might have to rob Pokédean.
I bought the Japanese
It's gonna happen.
AR7 on the last, not the one you just missed.
Yeah.
The previous PWCC stream.
Yeah, you did
I bought the one
indeed.
that was on there.
You did indeed. I was about to say Arceus. Butler is a big Arceus
degen.
fan collector, as well as Politoed. We got Gengar Brigade in. Are you going to be at Dallas Collecticon next week? Please say yes.
Thanks, Katie.
Thank you, Katie. Appreciate you. Chloe, what's a black label? So I'll go back and show you. Or there might be one on this page here. If not, if there isn't, we'll do a... here we go. Right, Chloe. I mean, it's what it says on the tin. A Beckett black label is what you would call the perfect card. It is a 10-10, supposedly. It's a 10-10-10-10. 10 centering, 10 corners, 10 edges, 10 surface. It is as perfect as can be. And the actual label itself, as you can see here, is black. The writing is gold. If I do a little comparison, so you can only get Beckett black labels. You can't get a PSA black label. It doesn't exist. That's a 9.5. Is there a Beckett
same
10
colourway.
on here? Yeah, I just want to show. Yeah, here we go. So Beckett 10s and Beckett 9.5s are the, like you just said, the same colour label, where the label itself is gold and the writing is black. So the black label, the label
But that's got
on
a
the card
9.5.
is actually black. Yes. I might have to bring Pokédean back. We're having a few problems here. Yes, I'll see you there. I'm looking forward to it. Now,
There's the... Oh no, Turtok.
it's not a Tour Tank, it's a Turtok.
Wait, what language is that? German? So what's...
Tour Tank is
Tortank's French. I can't keep up.
So whoever said there was a Turtok...
Well, there still might be a Tour
whoever
Tank.
said there was a Tour Tank, we haven't seen it yet, but we've seen a Turtok. There's a PSA 10, a Japanese Politoed this week. Please don't tell the butler, he does not need to spend any more funny.
I think we need to buy Dean a toy tank.
We got a Legendary Collection Charizard box topper in a PSA 9. Fun fact, I once sent one of these off for grading. I convinced myself it was like probably going to get an 8, 9 or 10. Came back a PSA 5 because it had a huge dent in it that I couldn't see because of the holo. And I was so obsessed with the card, I still put it on my backdrop, even though it was a 5. Anyway, really, really love this Mewtwo
cool.
right here. Japanese PSA 10. Also love this Espeon. I think this is a beautiful, beautiful card. I am a big Chansey fan. Obviously, if you watch the channel, you probably know that. But I also want to start buying cards that I just love. Like, I'm not an Espeon collector. I'm also not the biggest... what was I going to say there? I'm not an... Oh... Like, if I had to choose, Sylveon would be my favourite evolution. But I think this Espeon is beautiful. The Charizard art promo we've seen quite a lot. Not every single week, but most weeks I feel like
Popular
we've seen
card.
this. We've seen it in the 10 quite a few times. Pretty high pop in a 10 as well. I've graded this card myself multiple times and hit a 10 every time. It's fairly... as long as it's, you know,
Easy
not
to find,
flown
easy to
around
grade.
in the book. It comes in like a big... I've actually done a video again. If you...
Opening a book.
Yeah, I can't remember what the video was. It was
You
like
done that with... Was it with Southern Islands?
it was a collect. No,
You
it
done
was
2 at once,
no.
didn't you?
It was
Yeah.
a collection pickup that I did, and you'll actually see me opening up the sealed book, and this comes inside the book. So if you're interested in to see where that card comes from, we got the Plasma Storm Zard in a 9. We've seen that on the premiere in a 10. We got the Team Rocket Japanese gift seal box, which is pretty cool. $725.
I don't think that's got any exclusive promos though.
If I click on it, is it going to take
Probably
me
why it's not
as
like crazy
expensive as
expensive.
the
It's
gift
just
box
like a
that we
cool
saw?
original sealed item. Holland Phantom's Pikachu. That's cool.
Holland Phantom's Pikachu with the SIG on it as well.
That
by
Saitu
Saitu.
sketch is a bit like your Arita
Yeah,
sketch.
so I had a card signed by Mitsuhiro Arita last week at the Paris card show, the Gala that I went to, and the night before at the dinner, I whipped out my best art skills and I sketched out what I wanted him to draw for me, just so it was like visually clear. Basically, I wanted Pikachu with the lightning coming out the cheeks.
It was more like this face
Yeah.
rather than it's like his normal square face.
It wasn't my best. I'm not an artist, let's put it that way. But he understood the assignment, and
He
it
done a
came
good
out.
job of
It
it.
came out really, really well, and it's going off for grading. So looking forward to getting that back in the collection. And showing you guys. I actually posted a picture of it raw. I graded. I had it done on an E3 Pikachu. Grand Party Pokemon, welcome in. How are we doing, Betty? This is my husband, and it's not my new husband either. So
Wait, who's your new boyfriend?
I don't know. We'll have that conversation afterwards. We're on our honeymoon. That's awkward.
We were.
we were. We're not anymore. How much for Chloe's art green tea? Honestly,
I don't know if you want it.
it wasn't great. I'm not gonna lie. It wasn't the worst, but it wasn't brilliant either.
was quite
Arita
bad.
did a much better job, and he understood my vision. But it was an incredible weekend. So we got to
Dean
see.
and I had a great effort at the Charizard.
Yeah, you guys actually. Again, we spent our
keep that?
evening. I don't
I
know.
hope he
I
kept that.
binned mine because it was just
Oh.
embarrassing to look at. We spent our evening at the dinner before. Drawing what we wanted on our card just to make sure we were like making it as clear as possible. But one of the reasons it was such an incredible weekend, and I still feel like it felt surreal that it happened. So we were very, very lucky. We got to see Arita at the actual event and have our card signed. You had to basically like buy tickets that were separate from the actual card show to be able to get your card signed by Arita. There was lots of different options and things available.
You can see
And
if
then
I've got a photo of your art.
we were extremely honoured, and I want to say a massive, massive thank you to my dear friend Mr. Fuji. We actually got to go to dinner with Arita, which is an experience that I don't think I'll ever forget. But it was an incredible evening with the team from La Gala as well, and some other lovely, lovely people who are good friends of ours within the community. So it was a very, very special, incredible evening. And
I've got
still
a picture
feels
of
real that it didn't
mine and
happen.
Dean's one, but not your one.
I don't know if we're going to be able to show the people that. Are they going to be able to see? They might be able to see.
Maybe.
Let me just see if we can
Don't know how
catch up with
clear
the
that
chat right here. I want to see
That was
Chloe's
Pokey
art.
Dean's best art. I drew the flame.
Yeah, it's green. Yeah, it was an experience that I don't know if we'll ever get to experience again. And also, it was just a really incredible evening, and it was a really, really amazing way to sort of round off the weekend. It'd been such a busy weekend, and you don't always get to spend like as much time as you want to with people at the shows because there's so much going on, and you're trying to get around and see everything. So like being able to spend some time with our friends and Arita being there as well, it was amazing.
Cool.
So yeah, extremely grateful that we got to experience that. Okay, so we have got the Gold Star Pikachu in a CGCA, more black labels, more Moonbryons. We've got the Uyama's Pikachu in a PSA 10 as well. I love this card. I actually graded one of these myself and it came back a 10, which I was super happy with.
Visions in the chat said they're going to get their PSA 10 Battle Fest, the Pikachu signed by Ariga at the Nationals. But they're going to have the case signed to keep the grade and then have PSA authenticate it. So, we've always cracked our cards to then sign and regrade and basically just hoped that we get the same grade that we crack it out from. So if we crack a 10, that we get a 10 again and we haven't sort of like damaged it on the way.
Obviously, if you're doing that, there is a risk that you could
don't
literally
get the 10
bend
again.
the card in half. So unless you have someone that can do it for you and do it well, or you're comfortable doing it, I wouldn't ever advise just going ahead and getting that hammer out and smashing that sab to pieces, because I've seen horrendous videos online, someone cracking a first edition Venusaur and the screwdriver slipped. It didn't just go through the slab, it went through the card. I can't express how careful you have to be if you're doing that sort of thing. But sorry, carry on. I just wanted to mention that before people start sitting there at home being like, oh yeah, Butler said I'll just crack my slab open.
We can ask Pokemon Radar to just kick it on a curve.
Yeah, that
looked quite clean.
Again, people, be careful.
But I think if you get the artist to sign the case, I don't think PSA then authenticate it. I don't think you can get them to authenticate a signature on the case.
No,
I think if you do that, you'll just you'll have the card graded, and then you'll know that the signature's on there.
On one of the weekly auctions, there was a card that was signed on the case, and PSA there was a letter. So on the auction,
oh, they do like a letter of authenticity.
But you can't get anything on the label to show that the
case is authentically signed.
You might be able to get like an actual letter from PSA, which you could show with the card. But obviously, if you sign the case, they can't change the label on the case, if that makes sense. So it depends what you want it to look like. But yeah, there's some info for you. Team Rocket returns Zapdos EX in a 10. Don't think we've ever seen this up on the weekly before. Cool. Really, really nice card. Yeah, with the letter. Yeah, that's exactly the one I was talking about, that Charizard. So yeah, if you're happy having a letter that you can show with it, whereas if you want something like on the label, you wouldn't be able to get that. So again, it just depends what you're happy with and what you're looking for. Another card that we were talking about, where I said about that Espeon earlier, I just love the card. I think it's beautiful. This is another one I just love. Again, not a Mew collector.
Yeah, in a gift box
promo in a 10.
That comes with a, is it a, I think it's a Lucario.
I'm not sure.
That comes with. I can't remember. There's 2 promos in one gift box.
Again, more Mario's, Karen's Umbreon in a
really
Beckett
cool
9.
I think that's an Arita, the Umbreon McDonald's.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure someone had that at the card show. More Shinings, first edition Shinings as well. The Celebi play promo right there in
Demo
a PSA 10.
Rumble box.
Pretty cool. Again, we're seeing some sealed product that we haven't seen before. I think it was 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, there was the whole ETB collection. We've seen... What else have we seen? We've seen blisters. We've seen graded boost packs. We've seen all sorts, but I haven't ever seen a sealed Rumble box.
You don't tend to see too many, like, double blisters and triple blisters from, like, EX like platinum eras or
No,
anything like
I
that?
don't think I've seen a single one since we've been doing these streams. Surprised to see the butler. This isn't his first stream, people. This is not his first rodeo. He has been here with me before. We have Pokey Chloe, Pokey Kadeem packs at the National in Chicago. We'll probably have a few on us, definitely. We're not selling at any of like the upcoming card shows in the States. Logistically, it's too much of a challenge to vendor because we'd have to bring everything over. We're just, we're just attending basically. But we always have a few slabs and a few fun things available. I'm sure we'll have some mystery packs with us. Right, I'm going to keep going. Like I said, we're only on page 3. This happens every single time we get caught up.
Got half an hour still.
And guys, just a quick reminder, I'm coming to you live from Florida. I'm not on my normal setup. My backdrop hasn't just disappeared into thin air. I'm hoping it all sounds and looks okay. This is the very first time I have ever streamed not at my normal setup. So again, we had a bit of a blip with the audio at the start, but again, just let me know if anything dips in or out throughout the stream. I will be coming to you live from Dallas next weekend as well. So now we know that it all works okay, and
hopefully the Dallas Wi-Fi is good.
Hopefully the Dallas Wi-Fi is good, yeah. Another one of those Charizards from Plasma Storm, this time in an 8. There is the Lucario in a 10, that's really, really nice. Serena in a 10, so many nice cards, a few Karen's Umbreons, more Black Label, a lot more Black Labels, an XY Evolutions pre-release kit. Interesting. And guys, if you are bidding on anything this week, let us know. You don't have to tell us what it is until you win it if you don't want to. Or if you do want to tell us, go ahead. Or are you selling anything through PWCC? A couple of weeks ago when we saw the ETB collection, we actually had the seller in the chat, which was pretty cool. So yeah, do let us know either way. More box toppers from Legendary, more autos. There's also always Gold Star, Suicune, Raikou and Entei. We all know the story about that one. They're always CGC as well, interestingly. How's the humidity there this week? Today it was... Oh, yesterday it was pretty humid because of the storm. There was the mother of all storms this morning. About 4-5 a.m. When I tell you, we're like on the 5th floor, and we're like on the side of the hotel, like facing out. All you can see is the sea or the water between us and where we're staying, like an island near where we're staying. And it got hit really, really badly here in September last year, and it's not recovered yet. Like, the island is still recovering. There's still a lot going on to try and get it back to where it was. They've done very, very well, but it's really sad to see some of the businesses that just got swept away. And literally, it was coming through the hotel balcony door, literally considering how high up we were. The door to our hotel room was like swinging,
it was like flapping,
it was
even
flapping.
though it was
I had to stuff a towel underneath, and I was so
a
worried.
Towel underneath the door, a towel
and a towel over
that.
there, and I was so worried that the internet and electric would just go out because there were so many power outages this morning. But luckily, we're all back up and running. So yeah. No, I know. No, it was nothing like Hurricane Ian. I know, but it was pretty wild this morning. But yeah. Luckily, the internet's fine. Sunshine, appreciate you. Thank you very, very much. I'm not sure, I just remember being... Sorry if I've missed anything in the chat. Sorry to ask a lot of questions, but did the Charizard with the letter sell for a healthy price? I can't remember what that sold for. I don't even think...
Was that a base Charizard?
I can't remember. It was autoed. I can't even... No, it was... Was it Legendary Collection? I have a feeling it wasn't a base Unlimited Zard. I have a feeling it was something else. I think. Don't quote me, but now that I'm thinking about it, and I can't even give you a rough estimate, I'm pretty sure we saw it, and I don't think it's even one we kept open or went back to. Just want to talk about this card right here. This is the Alternate Art Arceus Dialga Palkia PSA 10 from Cosmic Eclipse. Love this card. It's actually a fairly expensive card in a 10, currently at $300 as well. Been lucky enough to pull that a couple of times. We've got a Burning Shadows booster box, so we have like more modern booster boxes as well. It's not always just vintage. Like I said, with these auctions, there is a little bit for everyone.
Was that top right Charizard sign on the case? No.
No, the sign on the card. So yeah, we're just, again, lots of black label. Green tea, how many black labels did you say there were? Always so many Pikachu stamp promos. I think we're going to go all the way to the bottom, and we're going to look at the lower end, and I'm going to try and get to that middle, part. Okay, so down here we got some raw cards. So basically, I'm just going to use this as an example. Whenever you see this NBA top loader style cover, this is basically a raw card that has been authenticated as a genuine card. So there'll be a video of the raw card actually being shown, and then it is stored in, it's not a slab, it's what was described to me best as like a top loader with a label, and it's Mike Baker authentication. They work with PWCC to authenticate all the raw cards. People sell raw cards. You can buy raw cards. It's not just slabs, it's not just booster boxes.
There have been some higher value raw cards.
Yeah, we saw Miriam a few weeks ago from Scarlet Violet, which was a healthy price. I actually pulled a French Miriam in a pack battle at Gala. We didn't even capture it on camera, which was crazy, and it was called Mimosa. Yeah, which was pretty funny. Anyway, so lots of raw singles. We got Crystal Guardians reverses. We got Legendary Collection, Charmander talking about Legendary Collection as well. So these are cool if you're putting together master sets. We've got a lot of Korean, actually. I've just literally spotted that. Lots of Korean. Interesting. Not something we see too often. So if you're...
Oh, Premium Champion Pack. I was going to say they're just normal commons.
If you're putting together... master sets and you need to fill some binder gaps, or if you know you're a particular Pokemon, you know, there's a few cards you're missing for a binder, you're putting together like one of every, you know, whatever it is.
I think we see these like reverse stamp EXs quite a lot on this like raw card part.
Reverse stamp EX era.
Yeah, EX era. Yeah.
Yeah, you said EXs.
Yeah,
EX era, not EX cards. Two different things.
Didn't say EX cards.
Yeah, you said EXs.
Yeah. You're about to be my EX.
Okay, I'm actually going to get a new co-host. Just stressing me out. CGC graded, PSA graded. We got vintage at this level. We got modern at this level. There's literally a little bit of everything. I'm going to keep going because I want to kind of hit that middle ground, but I also want to, like, just bear in mind we're at the $5 mark right here, and I think the spikier Pichu was at like $13,000 when we looked about 20 minutes ago. So, like, one end to the other. Right there. If you could just keep an eye on chat as well while I'm doing this, just in case there's any questions that we miss. Because like I said, I'm not on my normal setup, so I've got like screens that are far away, so I want to try and keep an eye. Let's go like page 40 and see what happens. Okay, so $30 mark. Wow, it just gives you context as to how much is on auction. So we got VS here, Black Star promos.
Shiv's in the chat.
Shiv, Pokemon Go, Dallas. Number 1, 11 months of the membership. Yes, we'll be Pokemon going in Dallas. You know we will be.
We stopped a little bit when they put the prices up for the raids. We haven't really played it as much.
It was that, and it was also just how busy.
Time, yeah.
Like, didn't have a single
We'll be back on
to
it.
breathe. We got the graded metal cards as well, and these are actually in I've never seen these in an SGC slab. So when these first came out, these are from the Celebrations UPC. When these first came out, PSA graded them immediately, so did CGC, and then PSA decided that they were going to hold off on grading because I think they came to the realisation that they weren't being held correctly in the slabs. I think there was so much movement, there was potential for damage.
When they were sealing it, it was damaging them?
I'm not sure. There was something about, I can't remember what it was. I didn't ever grade any of myself. So, yeah, they stopped.
SGC might have graded them the whole way through.
I'm not sure. So PSA stopped grading, and PSA only just started grading them like a month ago.
Yeah.
So it's been like
Have any new ones? Have any new ones come back yet?
I'm not sure. So it's been like
They might
2
be in a different
years.
case.
It's been like 2 years since we've seen PSA grade these. Haven't ever seen this graded with SGC. So there it is, an SGC 9. So like I said, you see quite a few different grading companies, SGC, CGC. Oh wow, someone has gone absolutely ham on those.
Someone was stocking up.
I haven't rated since the price change. Green tea, standing his ground. I've given in. Of course I've given in. So yeah, like we've got Legendary Collection in a PSA 8 at $37. We got Black and White Charizard from Legendary Treasures in a SGC 9. That's pop 1 of 4 with SGC right there. Only 2 graded higher, so there's only 2 SGC 10s.
SGC do 9.5 or no?
No idea. Couldn't tell you.
Don't know.
I've never graded with SGC myself before. It's an American grading company, I believe. I've seen a little bit of it in the UK, but like I said, I'm mainly a PSA. Someone has gone mad grading the metal cards. So we're at like the page, so we're at like $40 mark. Oh my goodness.
CGC as well.
What is going on? We've got them CGC. Look at the scan difference on these two. Yes, Cactus from the hotel room. Coming to you live from the hotel room. Yeah, I know, Talisa, so am I. So am I.
That was a cool card. What's that cross hatch?
Uh,
It's a smooch.
oh, of course it is. That's pretty cool.
That looks like you too.
PSA 10. Right, I'm just trying to cover like this middle ground, just see if there's any like maybe cool sealed product that we haven't seen yet. We actually saw, I think it was like 2 or 3 weeks ago, quite a lot of coins.
Poster.
We've seen
board.
a few of these from Beckett graded over the weeks. Yeah, I'm just trying to see, because we've had coins, we've had booster packs, cases. I'm trying to think if there's anything else unusual. Those triple blisters we haven't really seen, so it would be cool if we saw something like that pop up.
Right with the smoochums.
Oh yeah, we were talking about SGC Cactus, not CGC, SGC. Yeah, we know Sam went to CGC with his incredible
Cool,
cards.
scan on that one,
Yeah, you can't ever see those cards. We've seen them up before. They're like impossible. But the camera just doesn't like the colouring of it. So we're now at the $45 mark, and we've got everything from vintage to modern, Japanese, Radiant Charizard in a 10 from Crown Zenith. Yeah, can you see how dark
no,
it
I
is?
can't.
Yeah, it's so dark. That's
Mewtwo.
the Mewtwo. But yeah, it's not the first time we've seen these up. When they scan them, they just
don't show properly.
it's like that Pikachu I was talking about earlier. Yeah, Cats, if I come across the slab again, I'll show you. They're like, here we go. So we've got a Crimson Invasion ETB. This might be from that ETB collection a couple of weeks ago, and it maybe didn't get paid for, possibly. So about 3 weeks ago, we saw, it wasn't every single ETB. There was no black and white ETBs, don't think. But there was Sun and Moon, XY, Sword and Shield, obviously. So this might be from that, unless there is just a random Crimson Invasion. Pretty cool, $47. And I can't even remember what the Crimson Invasion one, because we were trying to keep our eye on all of them, but I think we ended up missing a couple, because like I said, there were so many to look at. We've even got Legend Maker Pop 1 of 6 here, PSA 10 reverse.
Pikachu on the ball.
Pikachu on the ball. There's the Pikachu Stadium. Again, you can't really see it. It's just that scan comes up super dark. We got the Ancient Mew in a Beckett 9 right there. So many nice cards. Mimikyu from Brilliance. I love that card in a PSA 10. So literally, again, we haven't even hit the $50 mark here. So even then, you know, I just feel like there's something for everyone's budget. Literally covers everything. English, Japanese, every language you can possibly think of, vintage, modern, all different grading companies. Yeah, I mean, you're sort of spoilt for choice as well. That Detective Pikachu Charizard gives me the absolute creeps. I'm just
Wrinkly.
Yeah, it's the wrinkles. I think it gets me.
Is that a game?
That is
Yeah,
a game.
Switch game.
Let's have a look. So
Is that
someone
the first
has
time we've
graded.
seen a game on the PWCC
No,
auction, no?
we've seen them quite a few times as well. So Pokemon Brilliant Diamond, Nintendo Switch. This is graded by CGC in a 9.4. So we've seen Water, I think, a few times graded games since we've been doing these weeklies. Don't think we've ever seen a Switch game graded though. Currently at $52 right there. We've got some Raw VS as well. So like we said, you've got the NBA Mike Baker authentication. They work with PWCC. Oh, we've got more
games.
Shining Pearl. Yeah, Mike Baker authentication work with PWCC to basically authenticate raw cards. So basically you've got comfort. Oh, here's the coins. This is what I wanted to look at. You've got comfort in what you are buying is an authentic card, and obviously CGC have then got comfort in what they're selling is an authentic card as well. So it's kind of that double security blanket. So we've seen quite a few of these coins popping up in the past 2 weeks. I just think they're cool. You just don't see them very often.
I've got this coin.
2001 VS in a Gem Mint 10. You've also got a coin at PSA that I don't think you're ever going to see again, but we won't talk about that one.
That was graded gem September 2020.
Yeah,
that coin
I
went.
just don't think it's ever coming back. I'm going to be completely honest with you.
Coming up 3 years. Oh, that's the...
Oh, Ruel, I know. I don't think it's going to happen. I'm not going to lie to you. I haven't even got time to play Pokemon Go at the moment, let alone a Nintendo Switch. I'd love to. I would love to. I was so committed. We got the Unigaba Pikachu. We're about to see a very, very exciting Unigaba collab come.
They come out yet?
No, I don't think it's yet. The Evolutions. You've probably seen a lot of pictures of them online. On Instagram, I think they literally dropped was it last week? I think just before we went away, we saw the leak of those. That's pretty cool. There's so
Strategy
many.
guide for Pokemon Red.
That's interesting.
Graded
by CGC. Pop 1 of 5. 7 graded higher as well.
That's what you needed before we had the internet.
Currently at $56. So we're now kind of at that point where we don't get a lot of time to look at. So I just really want to see the variation and what sort of is sitting at this price point. Because we're at $60 now. That Mew, look at that.
It's really nice.
That's really, really nice. Again, there's so many cards. Right, Cactus, if you're still here, that's an SGC slab. I've actually had a couple of SGC slabs in fairly recently, and I actually saw them at a card show we went to a few months ago in the UK. They feel pretty big and bulky, but they feel pretty sturdy as well. Again, more raw cards right here. We got the Venusaur Black Star Promo. Are you grabbing a water?
Yeah, sure.
Could I have one, please? Thank you very much. Need a bit of a water break. And guys, if you just jumped in, thank you for being here. Appreciate you being here. It is the weekly PWCC auction. We're currently streaming live from Florida on the road. First time ever streaming not at my normal setup, which is fun, so hopefully you're enjoying it. But I've got confidence because apart from the audio at the beginning, everything's working. Next week we'll be coming to you live from Dallas. That'll be fun.
Oh,
here it is, the Japanese. So it is beautiful as well in Japanese. I definitely prefer the English.
Got the double hollow pattern in Japanese.
Yeah, you can't really see it on here. But this is something I would be tempted to pick up, just so I could hopefully then get the English and have both of them.
If you got the Japanese one and swapped it next time you're at Dean's for the English, do you reckon he'd notice?
I think he might kill me with his bare hands, but we could give it a go. So again, we got the raw Lily there. Nice card. But I love this card. I actually pulled this for someone. Where did I pull this? This was fairly recent. It might have been on one of the last streams I did before we came away or we went to France. But yeah, That's like considered like the all art in cosmic. Seen a few of those Unigaba Pikachus popping up. Right, we will go back to the higher end in a moment as well. I love this this whole set. I actually had the whole set graded in a 10 once, quite a while ago actually, but ended up selling most of them. But this is the 10th anniversary movie promo. The Mewtwo's a beauty. We've got the Mew as well right there, also in a 10.
Is that Advent of Arceus, the next one?
Yes, it is. Oh, such a nice hollow pattern on that as well. Love that. Currently at $62. So again, raw card, but it's in the top loader. Confirmed as authenticated. Right, let's see what else we've got in here. This is the Triple B Art Rare Magikarp. Love the artwork on that.
I've still never seen that in person.
It's not. It's coming out in Paldea Evolved.
Oh, I was going to say English or Japanese. That's why.
Yeah. And again, I haven't opened any of the Japanese. So right, let's keep going. Green Tea's looking at that Mewtwo. Actually picked it up in a 7, but the 10 isn't too expensive. Grab yourself a bargain, Green Tea. Grab yourself a bargain. Treat yourself. A lot of graded games this evening.
Is that a Japanese graded game?
It is indeed. Pokemon Black version 2.
Yeah, Black Kyurem,
Nintendo DS. What a 9.4 A+. I'm not really familiar with the graded game systems. I'm not a graded game collector. Teresa, member for 18 months, late night butler appearance. So it's actually only 9:49 p.m. where we are. We're in Florida at the moment.
An overseas butler appearance.
We haven't really got a Pokemon backdrop. We've got the hotel room backdrop. A little bit different. Right. So we're currently at like the just above. Okay, we've jumped to $70 now. The $70 mark. Like I said, I wanted to try and spend some more time on this middle part. And what we are going to do when I'm back in the UK... Oh, there's another one of those ETBs coming up. So this is the Sun and Moon Guardians Rising. We've seen Crimson Invasion. So it might be that a few of them weren't paid for from that ETB collection that went up a couple of weeks ago. Or they might be new ones. What we're going to start doing is... when we're back in the UK with Dean, we're gonna do we're gonna segment the streams a little bit, just to make it like a little bit more fun. I know you guys enjoy these anyway, but what we're gonna do is we're gonna pick like our top items. So we might do Chloe's top 10 items of the week, Dean's top 10 items of the week, and then we might do like Chat's top 10 items of the week.
Butler's top item of the week.
I don't know if you're gonna be invited back, if I'm honest with you. Oh, we've got Champions Path ETB as well. So yeah, a few of the ETBs popping back up. And then we might do some other things as well. Like, before we start doing these streams, I always research in to see what's coming up. So if I think there's like loads of a certain Pokemon, we might do a like chat, guess the... I don't know. We'll do some fun things, but I definitely want to do like our top 10s, I think, every week, and go over why they're our top 10, what they are, etc. And they're going to be everything from high end to low end and everything in between. But maybe we'll do like a little poll on Instagram once a week as well, where I ask the audience, like on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, as to what your guys are, and maybe I'll do like a generalised Chat's top 10 and we go over what people voted for. Kyle, we have not done the last Pokemon standing yet, so thank you for reminding me. So right now in the live chat, can you let me know what you think is going to be the last Pokemon standing, please? I am going to go with Venusaur.
Ooh.
I'll wait for Butler to say it. There's loads of graded games.
What's on page 1? Can't remember.
We're going to look at that in a moment. Okay, another one of the stadiums,
the other one,
yeah. Again, they're so dark you can hardly see them.
Ooh, that's cool.
Black and white.
Black and white secret.
Yeah. Lots of legendary collection as well. Right, let's go back to page 1 and see if there's been any movement in prices. Green Tea's going Mewtwo. I think I'm being bitten, you know.
Really?
I'm just going to let Butler take over for a moment.
I don't know what I want to pick. I think I'm going to go Arceus. I'm going to go Arceus for last Pokemon standing.
Right, bear with me guys. I think I'm just being bitten, so I just need to put some bug spray on.
Do I get some? Or am I the bait now?
You're the bait.
So I don't think too many of these have changed in price since we last saw. I'm pretty sure that was already at 13,000. The box was still at 10. I can't remember if was that at 6,000 something. That might have changed. Cool. A lot of guesses for Pichu in the chat for last Pokemon standing. Green Tea's got Mewtwo, which I think is a little bit rigged because he just said he was going to be bidding on one, which means he's going to be sitting there keeping it going. We got a Lugia. Yeah, well, she's being bitten in the hotel room. I don't think our hotel room's overly secure because it's been leaking water overnight. Let's have a look. That signed first edition base Charizard has gone up quite a lot. I think that was $2,500 last time we looked. That's now at $4,000. I think that might have jumped up one bid as well. Moonbreon's on the move. The black label's now at 5,500. Getting back up there. That really cool Pikachu. I think that might have jumped up a little bit as well.
I don't think I have. I think it's just psychological. I might have one.
It's just psychological.
Okay.
When was the last time we had a Gold Star Umbreon?
There was one about 2 or 3 weeks ago, but it was in like a lower grade, yeah.
So we've had a little bit of movement, not too much. That's bumped up $50. I think I vaguely remember selling our first ever PSA 10 copy around that price, which is mad to think now that it's gone up
like
that much.
3 years ago. Right, so we've got Pichu, Magikarp. I'm loving lots of different Pokemon from what we normally have. But then there's quite a few different cards from what we normally have as well right here. So
I don't think Green Tea's allowed to say Mewtwo.
Butler, have you personal owned a Moonbreon? So do you want to tell them your story about the Moonbreon that you pulled?
Oh, you just told it. I pulled a Moonbreon.
Yeah, but you didn't tell the whole story.
I think the better story is when you pulled 5 Moonbreon and I was in the background opening my own packs and I pulled 5 Duraludon VMAX Alt Arts. And ever since I've been
and people still don't believe it was real.
I've been put off opening Evolving Skies.
I think people tend to forget the fact I wasn't opening them for myself. I was opening them for
I was
other
opening
people.
them for myself.
Yeah.
And yeah.
It wasn't great.
Didn't go well.
So guys, if you just joined, first of all, thank you for jumping in. The extended bidding period is about to start in 3 minutes, but as you know now, extended bidding is all access, so you don't have to have placed your initial bids. You can place your bid at any point basically up until the card ends. As you can see, the Unicarp just went up to 8,000. So this Unicarp is in a PSA 7. We have one in a 9, but that's on the Premier. Same with Jungle Boost Box. We actually have a first edition on the Premier as well. There's a few
crossovers.
Yeah, there's a few crossovers as well.
Broken Patch for the win.
Yeah, honestly, like if it wasn't live, people would not have believed it. Like, that's what you get for being on the internet. But
people probably wouldn't have believed me pulling 5 Duraludons, let alone you pulling 5.
Why would you want 5 Duraludons? That's the problem as well. So basically, guys, I'm just going to give you a little instruction as to how you can find the weekly auction and also the Premier auction as well, because we haven't done that yet this evening. So when you land on PWCC's homepage, this is what it, looks like. And they'll have a little bit of information about everything that's coming up. They got their vintage Premier auction, so that will include, your sports cards. Here we've got the trading cards Premier. So this is the first time they're doing it like this, where it's TCG specific, which I think is a great idea. And then they have a little bit of explanation about the monthly Premier, the weekly Sunday, and the fixed market price. Sort of a little bit of background about the company, 25 years of service, 732,837 current items in the vault, and over 2 million items sold,
so
which is absolutely huge.
Fixed marketplace, you can just go any time, and it's just like listings that you can go and send an offer on.
We are going to get to that, but yes, it is.
Okay.
We have got the vault, which again, as explained, over 700,000 items in there. And then just a little bit of recent sales highlights. There's always some huge sports cards in there as well. So up here, if you go to browse, you will see you got the weekly, which is what we're watching now, the Premier, which is what we just looked at in the first hour, and then the fixed market price, which is just permanently there as it says on the 10. As it says on the tin, not on the 10. And the items sit there with the fixed price that they are being sold at. And yeah, if you want to buy at that price, you can do. And that is basically how the fixed price works. It's not like a live auction like the Premier and the weekly are. But you get a little bit of like background as to how everything works, FAQs, all that sort of fun stuff. You also have your menu up the top where you can narrow it down to sports, trading card, coins and currency, wax, comics, memorabilia, video games. But what we will normally do is we'll click on the auction that we are going for. And here we go. So we're on the weekly right now. So if I narrow it down just to this week's weekly, because actually what you'll see is it's currently on all, and it's got the next week's auction, which is live, and this week's auction. So if we click on number 67, and guys, just a reminder, pinned at the top of the live chat, you can actually access the weekly auction yourself on your own computer at home, on your phone, wherever you are, and actually be looking through as we're doing these. So if you want to sit there and have a little look at what's going on, you can do so.
20 seconds.
So yeah, but we're gonna have to give the butler some lessons. 20 seconds until extended bidding starts, but as you know, it's all access, guys, so it's not like
that,
it
30
was
minutes that you then get before it ends.
Yes. Which we're going to go into. I think we should just let Butler run the show.
You haven't got a script for me to know what to say and what not to say.
Maybe just don't say anything. Okay, so there are over 12,400 items on this week's weekly auction, but that is everything. That's not just Pokemon, that's, as you can see, sports and all sorts of things. So what we're going to do is we're going to filter it down. So we're going to go to the weekly. I always do, up here we type in Pokemon, hit your enter button, and then we're going to sort by highest price first, and there we go. So basically what's happening right here now is you're basically in the first window of extended bidding. So with extended bidding you now have 29 minutes to bid on the item. If the item is not bid on, a bid is not placed on the item will end in 28 minutes now. It will end at 7:30 Pacific time. If you do bid on the item, it will move into the next extended bidding period, and that is 5 minutes. That will run from 7:30 till 7:35. So the first window is 7 till 7:30, and then it's 7:30 to 7:35. It's 5 minutes all the way up till 8 p.m. Pacific time, and then after 8 p.m. it goes to 1 minute. And basically, yeah, you'll see when it's happening live, like how quickly that happens. Normally at 8 p.m, actually it's been a little bit 50-50. We've had it where there's only 1 or 2 items left, but we've actually had it where there's like 30 items left. It really depends what's up, how many people are interested in those items. It's really up and down.
It's not always the expensive items.
And no,
a mix.
Actually, most of the time it's not the expensive items. It's the $30-$40 items.
People trying to get their deals.
Yeah, so it varies. You can never tell what's going to happen, which is really fun watching these auctions live, because you never know what the last Pokemon standing is going to be, what the last card's going to be, where it's going to go. And basically, if any items get a bid in the next 27 minutes, this little text box down here will go green. At the moment it's red, and it literally tells you bid is needed to extend the item. But if we scroll down and find one that's green, there isn't one. Okay, that's unusual that there's not a single one on the first page. We'll go to page 2.
It's only been 2.5 minutes. Give it some time.
We'll go to page 2. Ah, okay, here we go. So the Japanese Team Rocket gift box, it's been extended into the next window. So this has had a bid, and this will now be pushed through to the 7:30 till 7:35 window. DMC says, I always throw in a few bids and just let them ride. If I win, it was meant to be. DMC, is there anything in particular you are going for this evening, or is it just you see it, you think, yeah, I'll go for it? Because I think that's why I enjoy these auctions. I feel like you don't always necessarily go for items that you had planned to. Something might just catch your eye as you're looking through them. With there being over 3,000 items, there's always bound to be something that you had no intention of buying, maybe something that you weren't even familiar with, that you didn't even really know existed before, that catches your eye and you think, actually, I'd love that in my collection. So that is what makes these auctions interesting and fun, especially to watch along live. I've said it before, and I say it when Dean's here a lot of the time. A lot of our content is sitting at our setups, opening up packs for you guys, especially on live streams, being crazy and wild, full of energy and having a great time. Don't get me wrong, we enjoy ourselves, but this is the other side of content that we don't really talk about as much. I personally don't do market analysis videos or give any kind of advice into what you should be investing your money into, what you should and shouldn't buy, or what's hot and what's not. I'm not a financial advisor. I never have been. I never will be. I will never ever tell you what you should be buying in the Pokemon market. I'll tell you what I'm buying, but I'll never advise you guys, because I think it's just a dangerous thing to do. Everyone's collection is specific to themselves. People should buy and invest in what they want to invest in, what they think is a good idea. But I like watching these because it just basically is a bit of market insight, seeing where prices are currently sitting with items, having a look at items that we don't see very often, that we don't have price points for, and just learning together basically. We got a first time bidder tonight. Let's see how it goes. Best of luck.
Good luck.
Whatever you're going for, hopefully you pick it up. DMC says, I'm going for a couple of Pikachu promo cards. I love collecting different promo cards. None of them insanely pricey ones though. It doesn't have to be expensive. I think people get very fixated on, if it's not expensive, it's not good enough. And it's not the case at all. If you want to collect PSA 3 Weedles, because that makes you happy, you do that. If you want to collect PSA 10 Charizards because it makes you happy, you do that. There is no my card's better than your card. I know people behave
Polytoad
like that.
is the best though.
Okay, Butler likes Polytoad. We'll leave that conversation for another time. I mean...
But even with that, like the whole Polytoad collection, there's some Polytoads that are 4 figures, some Polytoads that are £50. Mm-hmm. So it's like a massive difference, but obviously...
And with Charizards.
I like collecting all of them.
There are some Charizards that obviously Charizard always maybe tends to have a bit of a higher value. Or, I don't know, there are some cards that might have alternate artwork, so alternate art versions that obviously hold a huge value, but sometimes, a holo from a set might not be of any interest and might have little to no value. So there's no right or wrong, because someone on a video somewhere says this is what you got to do and that's how you got to do it. It's an opinion based hobby, guys. There is no right or wrong answer, and I feel like I say it a lot, but I want to express that so people don't feel like, not embarrassed by saying what they enjoy collecting, because not everyone's going to agree with it. Not everyone's going to agree with your fashion sense. It's the same thing with Pokemon cards. Not everyone's going to love it, but if you love it, that's all that matters.
You don't agree with my Pokemon cards or my fashion sense.
No, and we're married, so that tells you a lot. Right, so the spiky-eared Pichu. Right, bear in mind, guys, I don't think we've mentioned this at all this evening. Every price you see right now does not include buyer's premium. So once the item ends, you'll see buyer's premium added on top. So you'll see the price jump up, basically. And that will happen once the item ends and there's no extra bids on it. I one day want to own one of every Chikorita artwork, but the art contest cards will make that very hard. I mean, you can't go wrong with Chikorita.
Cute.
You cannot go wrong with Chikorita. Right, so the top items, none of them have had a bid on yet, and I feel normally at this point we sometimes see that. I mean, whoever gets that Pichu, that's an incredible item to add to the collection. I feel like box prices are holding pretty healthy. I don't know what's just happened there. I feel like box prices are holding pretty healthy at the moment. We've seen some higher pricing with some WotC boxes over the last couple of weeks, whether it's been private sales or sales on other platforms.
Definitely seems as though the PWCC authenticating and tamper sealing doesn't affect the price. I think we've seen it long enough now to see that they just keep selling at the same price that normal sealed boxes are selling for.
So when we first started doing these weekly streams, myself and Dean, I think that's one of the first things we commented on. We said, I think we put it to chat, and I think we asked it ourselves as well. Do you think opening up the boxes and showing them, authenticating them and sealing them back up would affect the price? Not once have we seen that affect the price. The boxes have basically sold, if not where the last seal box price has been, if not more in some cases. And we did have the slight discussion that if, people are buying them to open them for box breaks and streams or things like that anyway, it makes absolutely no difference to them if it's got all 36 packs and it's the right...
That's what they wanted.
And they are all the 36 packs from that box. That's all they wanted in the first place. So... that makes sense. The World
Japanese
16 promos had a bid that's gone up to 5,000. Be interested to see. Green tea, was it $6,900 with buyer's premium on the last Black Label Moonbryon? Just double checking on that, because this one's currently at 5,500. Oh, that's what I was just thinking in my head. Starling. It's a common factor with auction houses.
It's the way the auction houses take their fee,
buyer's
basically.
Premium is just it's a standard basically.
Although I think, isn't it, if the item goes over 10,000,
there's a price structure.
They still charge 20% buyer's premium, but the seller gets 10% of that then back.
There's a price structure.
Yeah. But it's always a 20% premium added on the sale price.
Oh, right, green tea, so it's really, really close. Yeah. It's really, really close.
Did someone say Weedle?
Actually, Weedle Farmer. So we're just going to go through and see if any of these have had bids. So a few of them are starting to get bids now. The ponchos haven't yet. Mario hasn't. The first edition starters have. The first edition Dark Dragonite from Team Rocket has.
It's a really nice card. I really like the...
Let's go on to page 2.
The Pikachu, Japanese.
I need to see if I can get enough and I can get them.
It's psychological again.
Yeah. Okay.
Jolty on Play promo is a cool one. We've seen that a few times in these auctions.
And the Celebi as well has been up a few times. It's up in a Beckett 10 tonight. The Team Rocket Japanese box has as well. The art, okay, there's a couple of art promos. I think I missed that. There's one in a Beckett 9.5 and there's one in a PSA 9. Like I said, we've seen that in
almost at the same price.
We've seen that in PSA 10 a few times now since we've been doing these streams as well. Someone asked a question earlier that I wanted to answer and I completely forgot. Let me just go back and see. Something kind of reminded me of it there and now I forgot. No, I think it's gone. If it comes back to me, I'll mention it. And guys, just a reminder, be sure to hit that like button on your way in if you haven't already. The Rumble box is a pretty cool thing. Like I said, we haven't seen that before.
Ripped on the top right corner there?
Let's have a little look. I don't think so. No, it just looks like the plastic.
It's where the seal.
No, it looks fine. So that's currently at $725. Actually opened one of those fairly recent. Well, not fairly recently. A few months ago on a video as well, which was pretty cool.
Grades one.
No, it didn't grade very well at all. That Zapdos EX I think is really nice. Currently at $700. So just like a little bit of context right here when we're talking about like the Moonbryon alternate art holding this like crazy price in black labels and even PSA graded, considering I think green tea we said there was like 6,000 or 7,000 PSA 10 Moonbryons graded, I think. You've got this EX Team Rocket Returns Zapdos EX, so a 2004 EX Zapdos, you know, fairly popular Pokemon, PSA 10, $700. I don't know, I just feel like, to be fair, it's actually getting there. But
currently there's a Moonbryon on the page before and a Beckett 9.5 that's higher priced than that
I don't know, I like in my head it doesn't quite correlate sometimes with things. I just Yes, Pokey and Fun. I will indeed. I will indeed. We actually were talking about the Pikachu. Oh, I think no. I definitely deleted the picture. Have a quick look and see if I've got the little artwork
Little
that I
sketch.
asked him to sketch. I'm pretty sure I deleted it. Because it. Oh yeah. No, I deleted it. I got a picture of Dean drawing his, but yeah, I basically, like I said earlier, I drew what I wanted him to draw on the card, and he did very well. Love that Mew right there. So all the Mario Pikas that are in the weekly this week are all 9s, whereas we've seen the premiere is the sequential 10 set of the Luigi and the Marios.
I really like those Snorlax.
Yeah, so there's
promo sketches.
There's a few of these in tonight, which we saw as well. Double Crisis. Actually pulled that for someone. So Double Crisis is a bit of like a weird slept on set. It's a really small set. I think there's 20.
That's Japanese though.
Oh yeah, it is.
Is it called Double Crisis in Japanese, or do they just use the English name?
Don't know.
On the label.
It must be Double Crisis in Japanese. They wouldn't use the English name on the label if it wasn't. There's like 21 odd cards in the set. And for me, these full arts are like the what I would call like the original alternate arts. I feel like a lot of people aren't even aware of them.
Really cool.
Double Crisis, it's one of those. Yeah, it's not a set you see people talking about or opening very much of, but yeah, really really cool. I was actually lucky enough to pull that card for someone as well, which was pretty cool as well. Yeah, 6,215 PSA 10 Moonbryons.
That's a lot.
Yeah, that is a lot. So yeah, even with, and that's just PSA 10, guys. That's not any other grade, and that's not raw. So that's just like a little insight into how many of them there are out there. And then when you think of the price they are still holding, it's just, I'm starting to struggle thinking about how that's still doing what it's doing now. When it initially all blew up and it was all exciting, I get it, but now that everyone's kind of thinking like, what are we doing here? Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, like Stalin said, such a high price for a high pop card. I agree. So yeah, quite a few. Did you say there's 16 black labels tonight? I feel like I've seen more than that, unless I'm just imagining it. So a couple of box toppers as well. 7,952 total graded. And 6,215 of them are PSA 10s.
That's a really high percentage.
That is mad. That's madness. That is madness. Right, okay, let's keep going and see where we are. So that's gone up to 340. That was at 300 when we looked at it earlier. So I think there's one of every legendary collection box topper actually tonight. Lots of the gold star dogs or legendary beasts, like we said earlier. We're just going to keep going through and see where the prices are going. Yeah, Sean wouldn't have it any other way. Would not have it any other way. Coming to you live from Florida, where it is 10:16 p.m. In the UK, it's 3:16 a.m. So if you're still awake in the UK, number one, what are you doing? Oh, it's bank holiday tomorrow. That's what you're doing. You don't have to. I mean, Sean occasionally jumps in anyway. Chloe's just part of the late night DJing gang. Can we right now, actually, in the live chat? I'll ask you because I haven't asked yet. Where's everyone watching from this evening? Where is everyone? I'm in Florida, which I don't get to say very often. Burning Shadows box hasn't moved. That is currently at $300.
Still quite a high price. 360 with premium.
No, Tom. We've been married for 2 years. We just never had the chance to go on our honeymoon. So it's a belated honeymoon. Very belated honeymoon.
Don't remind her.
Yeah. So we got Devon, Colorado in the chat. So we got both sides of the pond. I've just noticed we've got a German first edition base set booster pack as well, on top of some of the German first ed base cards that we've seen. We've got New York, Trinidad and Tobago, Boston. We've got a lot of the Americans in, Ohio, Alabama, Canada. It's weird being on a different time zone and me not thinking it's super, super late. And next week we're going to be in Texas. where
Is that a different time zone?
Yeah, it is. That's central. I'm pretty sure. Most people do that these days. Yeah, Tom, life and work just took over. And we got married pretty much like while COVID. We could only have 30 odd people at our wedding. So COVID was still like flowing when we got married. So we couldn't really travel properly anyway. So we got California, we got Mississippi, Texas, Philadelphia, Minnesota. Is Frank with Dean? No, he's actually with my in-laws and he's with his brother Reggie. So I guarantee right now at 3:20 in the morning, he is wrapped up in the duvet in the middle of the bed, taking up all the space, living his best life. I'm working. I've woken up and seen this stream event. Oh my goodness. We got Cali, Leicester. Oh my goodness. Fort Myers, Florida, 30 minutes away. Cactus, just around the corner from us. So we got the Japanese. We've seen quite a few of these actually up in every single weekly stream, I'm pretty
Haven't we
sure.
seen a couple of those as black labels?
We have,
they look
yeah,
really nice
we
with
have.
the
We every single week we see en masse the stamp box promos.
Yep.
Every single week, there's at least 10 of them. At least 10. Oh, we got the Garchomp there from Plasma Freeze. That's really nice. The shiny.
$260 in a 9.
Pichu first edition from Neo Genesis in a 9. It's still flowing. We're just ignoring it now. Yeah, DMC. That couldn't be more accurate. Okay, so a lot of these have started to have bids on, so these will move into that next 5-minute window, guys. Just a reminder, if these items do not get a bid in the next 10 minutes, they will end at 7:30 Pacific time. They will end in the 10 minutes.
It's a good little price point to have. Just graded one of those Latias's in a 10.
Yeah, true. Oh, I didn't see that earlier. We have got the Japanese Sun and Moon Tag Team All-Stars GX box. I actually saw a few of these up for sale at La Gala.
We sold one of those at the last London show.
Yeah, that was months ago though. That was beginning of the year. That was like January, February.
Yeah.
Can't remember the price that went for actually.
I think it was about £250.
Yeah, British pounds. Tony, unfortunately we have to have the camera box somewhere, so we put it as far out the way as we can, so you can actually see all the listings. It's just when I'm scrolling like that, you obviously lose the top ones, but you can actually see the listings pretty clearly.
Click the link at the top of the chat as well, you can go on and obviously like see the full page yourself.
Yeah, true. Again, lots of autos. So here's an interesting one.
That's on the case.
So we were talking earlier, someone in the chat was asking if they I think, did they put it to the chat to say something like, if you were getting something signed, would you have it on the card or would you have it on the slab? Obviously, I think the card they want signed is already in the slab and they don't want to crack it out, which is fair enough. So this one here doesn't look like it has the letter with it, but PWCC have put their little subheading of signed by artists on slab, but we have actually seen we think it was a Charizard. I think it was Legendary Collection. I might be wrong on that.
I think I'd sort of rings a bell.
Yeah, I think it was the reverse Zard from Legendary Collection. It was signed on the slab. Sorry, some movement there. Signed on the slab, and there was like a letter of authentication from PSA with it, which I hadn't seen prior to that before. Yeah, Chloe, there's a few of them actually. There is a few. Quite a few SGC slabs in SGC 10 on the Rayquaza. We've got the Japanese Expedition Zard, and we've got it in a PSA 10 up on the Premier in English. We've got a lot of EX era.
That's cool. Phone card.
So this is the 1998 Pokemon Faux Card, Pokemon Center Tokyo Grand Opening. That's really cool. Currently at $220, and in a Beckett 10 as well.
What do they do? Give those out?
Must be.
But it looks usable.
Yeah.
So maybe you could
buy
them to actually use, and it was just like a promo.
Interesting. Oh, Vision said it was a PSA 10 base at Zard Unlimited. I don't know why I had Legendary Collection in my head. Yeah, and there's the, talking about Legendary Collection, there is the...
another one of the box stoppers.
There's the Raichu. So there is the full set. I think they're all in 9s, actually. Another Espeon right there, which is
Espeon.
really nice. So that's the Japanese Magmaverse Aqua in a PSA 10, currently at $220.
Oh, that's the one. That's Japanese exclusive, I think. I think that only comes as a non-holo in English.
That happens
Off
with
memory.
quite a few cards in a few different Japanese sets as well.
Legendary treasures.
Japanese legendary treasures. So if you haven't already, make sure you go and watch it. My vlog from La Gala just came out yesterday, I think it was. And you're going to want to watch it if you like that Pikachu. That's all I'm going to say. Right, let's keep going.
Wasn't you the pulled it either, was it?
No, it was not.
Special guest appearance.
You just ruined it for the people now.
How far ruined?
Okay, guys, this might be the last holiday we ever go on. Really like that. That's the Japanese Secret Wonders. In Japanese, it's Shining Darkness in a 10. It was episode 7, sold for 7,000 before buys premium. Visions. You did
So
well to find that.
That sounds very close to just normal market price, because that'll be 8,500.
Which means the
with
signature
premium.
on the slab wasn't really valued by
Yeah.
the people
That's interesting.
buying, bidding on it, whatever you want to call it. Loads of gold star dogs. So we got the German Blastoise artwork, first edition, based in a PSA 8 as well. I can't remember what the Charizard artwork. It was a PSA 8 or a PSA 9.
It was PSA 8.
Cactus, we got a few days yet. We got a few days. Collecticon Dallas next weekend, which we're looking forward to. Korokromu in a PSA 8. I think I missed that earlier. I don't know if have we seen a Korokromu in a 10 since we've been doing the weekly?
I think you have.
We've seen multiple Korokromus.
I think
can't
I remember. I think Dean was doing it with you, and he said he really wanted
Oh
one.
yeah, Dean would love a Korokromu in a PSA 10. I was very lucky that I bought one raw and graded it a 10, and I've kept it in my collection ever since. Quite a lot of graded games, and quite a few Japanese graded games as well, which I feel like maybe just in the previous weeks, maybe what we might do is, as well as doing the top 10 like of each of the hosts' favourite items, we do like a top 10 sealed items as well, or a top 10 graded games items. If I see that there's a lot of graded games, or if I see there's a lot of booster boxes, we can do a top 10 as well. We want to include the segments just to structure it a little bit more. I think it would be good for you guys. Oh yeah, DMC, was it DMC who was bidding on the Pikachu promos? Is this one of them? Because I absolutely love this one.
It's a cool card.
Really, really nice card there in a 10. We've also got this Raw Tonight, Jasmine Steelix from VS. Really, really like that Best of XY Pikachu there in a 10 as well. Really cool artwork on
Pokepark.
the Latias right
You don't
there.
see those. They come in the folders. You know, the Neo folders that you get. The Pokepark folders are similar to those.
And it's
I
got the
think
little
there's just
logo
9
in the bottom
promos
right
in
hand
each,
corner
yeah.
right there.
I think is it a green and a blue?
Right, let's go back to pay. No, let's keep going. We've got a few more minutes right here. Okay.
That Umbreon's cool.
Yeah, we've seen that a couple of
Fundamental.
times since we've been doing this. Oh yeah, there's another Korokromu there in a 7. Seen this quite a few
Debbie, Eevee.
times. I really, really like that Eevee. Don't know if we've ever seen it in a 10, but we've definitely seen it up quite a few times. No, but you love those. Yeah, they're really nice DMC. Really, really nice. Really like that Pikachu promo. I think it was either a card show or a card store somewhere where there was quite a few of them graded. I think they were quite overpriced, but they're still really, really nice cards. Japanese Sleepy Tyranitar in a 10 as well. So lots of all arts in English and Japanese tonight, guys. And there is the Latios to go with the Latias. We got the Psyduck promo there, the Munch in a 9, like we were saying earlier. Fairly hard to grade in a 10 due to the centering a lot of the time. Vending Series 3, lots of Legendary Collection as well. Just going to keep going while there's a couple more minutes before we jump back to the beginning. Japanese Stormfront Zard in an 8. Is there? Have you got sound on somewhere?
Sound.
Yeah, it's not on that, is it? I just thought I could hear a bit of... Maybe it's just outside. Maybe something's making a noise outside.
The fridge is making a noise.
Oh, it's the fridge, maybe. It's the fridge.
There's the coin.
Maybe I should crack it, but I'm not too concerned about resale value. I'm conflicted. I mean, it's up to you. It depends, like, what you...
The one thing I would say with cracking something to sign, you're cracking it, which might lose value if the grade changes, but you're also adding value with the signature. Most of the time, adding the signature to the card
But
anyway.
if
So
you're not bothered about value, then it's basically what you would be happier with. Would you be happier with the card signed and then, you know, re-encapsulated and it either authenticated on the label or
if you're hoping for value retention, I'd probably take the risk cracking it as long as you have practiced cracking one before. I wouldn't use it as your first ever.
They said they're not
sort of
too
go,
concerned about the resale value.
Yeah,
so
then I mean, I'd personally
personal
prefer to have it
collection.
on the card, but obviously that's down to your personal preference.
We got Radar.
John.
How we doing? Welcome in to the On the Road stream. Do you know what? DMC, so am I, because I had a horrible feeling it was not going to be great. And what's absolute... Do you want to know a crazy story? The upload speed on the hotel Wi-Fi is higher than my speed at home hardwired in with an Ethernet cable.
I don't know how.
That math does not math, but here we are. And I pay for the most expensive broadband and internet to make sure it's the best. And now I'm going to call them up and be like, look, the hotel Wi-Fi was stronger. What is going on here? Right, 10 seconds until we go into... So if these top two, if this Pichu and Jungle Box does not get a bid, they will end and Buyer's Premium will go on top.
Oh, both the Arceus that we saw were 9s, weren't they?
Yes, the design
Previous
contest,
ones,
yeah,
yeah.
they weren't 10s.
So because that sold for a chunk more than the Arceus, but that's also a 10.
Yeah, people are absolutely horrified by the... It doesn't, honestly...
Don't understand how.
Yeah, but...
We're on like 60 meg upload, and the most we can get at home, even
like
though we're plugged in,
52.
is like 51, 52.
Okay, so the spiky-eared Pichu has ended at $15,600. So that is inclusive of Buyer's Premium.
Solid price.
The first edition Jungle Box has sold for $12,000, again inclusive of Buyer's Premium. So now you'll see it's only 5 minutes until the next window starts. So if these cards now or these items now don't get a bid in the next 5 minutes, they will end. The Unicarp's still going. It's at 9,750 and that's in a 7. Just bear in mind on the premiere, which ends on Thursday, there is a PSA 9 copy.
That sounds like quite a high price for a 7.
When I just saw that. The Moonbryon ended up going for $6,600, so that's
Very slightly under.
$300 less. So it's like dipping very, very like
It
green
seems
tea.
to be that's finding a sort of plateau, really, isn't it?
I mean,
A couple of sales
interesting.
within what's that, 5%?
The Zard, the first edition Charizard, where the card's authenticated and the signature is graded, sold for $4,800. The Shining Zard from Neo Destiny first edition in a PSA 9 sold for $3,720, followed by the Charizard Poncho Pika in a 10 going for $2,760. I think there's
So
the Shining Zard as well.
these prices now, once they've sold, it includes the premium automatically.
Yes.
So if you look at this Blastoise, that would be 2,100 without premium because it's still running.
And as soon as it
But
ends,
as soon as
it
yeah,
automatically adds
it
it
adds
on.
it on.
You'll see if it doesn't get a bid, the price tots up, and then that's it adding
Yeah.
up.
So
with
all
the,
sold prices are all in price with premium. Umbreon's going again.
It's had a bid. The Scream and the Shiny Ray Ponchos. Okay, so the first edition Neo Genesis Lugia in a PSA 9 has ended at $2,070. Just a reminder, there is a PSA 10 copy on the Premier, which we saw earlier.
That's going to be a wild price difference.
We've got the Poncho Rayquaza non-shiny in a PSA 10 ending at 2010. We've got the Full Art Mario Pikachu in a PSA 9 ending at 1980. And again, just remember, we've got the sequential full art set and half art set in a 10. So all 4 cards, all sequential certs ending on the Premier, which we saw earlier as well. And then we've got the Unlimited Zard in a Beckett 9 there, ending for 1590. So the Glaceon Black Label, so the alternate art from Evolving Skies, ended for 1,530. Let's do a little refresh. So we were on 3,412 items. Let's see how many items we have left now, just before we go into the next window. 1,074. Okay, so there's a minute until the next window. The Unicarp hasn't had a bid. The Japanese Champions Festival from 2016 hasn't had a bid yet. The Umbreon has, though. Quite a few of these have not. Just gonna have a little scroll down.
Still going up.
Yeah. This is where it gets stressful trying to keep up with it all, because it just flies so quickly right now. Wish I had a few $1,000 spent. I know DMC every stream. There's the 9.5775. There's probably a few things that have ended here that we've made. Again, at this point, I always just try and scroll through to, honestly, it's a blessing and a curse that PWCC have so many items, because there's so many good items, but it's so hard to keep on top of every single week. Whereas the Premier, there's not as many items, so it's a lot easier to sort of watch and manage. That Espeon's still going there in a 9.5. That's really nice. Oh, 20 seconds to go. Oh, the stress. Let's quickly scroll to the top, because I am intrigued to see where... Oh, okay. Me under pressure is not good. Right, 6 seconds to go. Okay, the Unicarp's just had a bid, jumped up to 10.5. It looks like the Japanese World 16 promo is going to end, yeah. Oh, okay. Oh!
It might just be a little glitch.
Yeah, this did happen before, so I'm going to give it a second. Let's do a little refresh right there.
Yeah. Yeah,
here we go. So, the Unicarp's still going, it hasn't sold, and the Umbreon's still going. So the 2016 Worlds promo, oh, okay, it's gone now.
Sold for 6,000.
That just glitched me out. It sold for 6,000. Pokey Lucario, hope you are doing well. I hope you're having a lovely trip as well. Oh, Chloe just won 8 cards. That Chloe, could you tell us
Congrats,
what you
Chloe.
won? Or if you don't want to tell us all of them, could you give us a little insight into a few of them? Oh my goodness, Chloe, big spending on this bank holiday
800
weekend.
Cards just ended in that first 5 minute
Yeah,
extension.
so that was rapid. There's 274 still going right here. So we've got the Unicarp still going, we've got the Gold Star Umbreon still going, that beautiful Pika right there, which I absolutely love. The Team Rocket box has just had a bid. What you'll see happen is there's like a blue highlight around the actual product. It sort of like glows, and then the time left to bid goes to green. Got 8 Mewtwo's. 8 Mewtwo's. We love it. We love it. Matt, welcome in, guys. If you just jumped in, make sure to, number 1, hit that like button on your way in if you haven't already. Number 2, you can click the link pinned at the top of the chat, and that will actually take you to the auction, and you can actually scroll along. So, for example, if we're looking at something or focusing on... Oh, I just got a weird shiver then. Looking at focusing on something that you guys aren't as interested in and you want to keep looking through, you can do so literally. Sit there and scroll along with us. If you're bidding on anything, let us know. If you're selling anything, let us know. We always love to hear what you guys are getting. DMC, I won a Southern Islands Vileplume and Marill as well. Been wanting those for a long time. Absolutely love Southern Islands. Again, if you go all the way back to like the beginning of my channel, you'll be able to see the amount of Southern Islands I bought and graded and opened, etc, etc. Jeff, how are we doing? Welcome in. Thank you for being here. Appreciate you. Okay, so 2 minutes left in this window. We're going to try and do like a little rapid scroll through that. Our Arceus is still going from Cosmic.
A lot of Alt Art Lugias.
I pulled the Rosa for someone not too long ago, which was pretty fun. Right, let's keep going. Okay. So quite a few have dropped off, so we're down to like 200. Quite a few of these have had bids on as well to keep going. So many alternate arts, so many alt arts. Just bidding on one more thing. Green tea, I don't think so. Panic buy, I love it. Some Crystal Guardians and an Umbreon, very
Nice.
very nice. Love that Shining Legends Japanese Lugia as well, right there. Right, let's see where we are. We've got a minute 45 seconds. That I remember when these Pokemon Stadium cards were up.
Didn't they have like a block of them?
Yeah,
at
it
once?
must have been like, it literally must have been like one of the first streams we did. There was someone who I remember then like on Instagram like a couple of days afterwards saying they were looking for like PSA 10 copies of a few, and we saw like PSA 9 copies sell of a couple of them, and they went for like fairly healthy prices. So they must be fairly hard to come by in a 10, not something you see very often popping up. Oh, picked up the Armoured Mewtwo, very very nice. Was it English or Japanese DMC? Very very nice. Oh, so the Mew is still going from the 10th anniversary. I think the Mewtwo sold though.
There's some really nice cards for like a really affordable price as well.
Yeah, I mean we're at the $70 mark right now, just to give you insight, and you've got a pristine 10 Typhlosion from the Neophyte. It's a 1999 Japanese promo right there.
That's cool.
Yeah, that Pika's cool. Look at that. We're just going to keep going through just to see how much we can catch. Right. English, nice. DMC, very, very nice pickup right there. Yeah, so many of the metal cards coming out. The Crimson Invasion ETB, $54. I almost feel like if people
Sounds
not realise it's there.
Is that still going though? Is that sold? That's
still going, yeah. Everything you see here is still going. It's about to, it's about to. So we're just going to let that run through for the, right. Not being funny, this is quicker than the computer in my streaming room. The computer in my streaming room sometimes can't cope with the website, but my streaming laptop is on fire. Right, here we go. Let's see.
Umbreon's
Right.
gone.
Unicarp is still going. The Umbreon Gold Star in a Beckett 8 has sold for $2,880.
Well, the cart's jumped $1,000 as well.
Yeah. The Rockets box is still going. The Gold Star Peak is still going. Okay, a couple more sold here. So we had a Unlimited Blastoise from Beckett in a 9.5. We had a CGC First Edition Raichu in a 9. Didn't even see that when we were scrolling through. It's gone for $780. The Arceus, wow, from Cosmic Eclipse. So it's like that alternate art, Arceus, Dialga, and Palkia. Sold for $432 right there. The Chinese, that is Chinese, yeah.
Yeah, Chinese.
Chinese Lugia, so Paradium
Is that
Trigger.
sold for more than the English?
I can't remember where that was last selling in English. Right, let's do a little refresh right here. So we were on 274, we're now done to 141. So the next window is commencing right
Gift box
here.
still going.
Do we think the Unicarp in the 7 is going to go any higher? Just a reminder, guys, there's a PSA 9 copy up in at the premiere. We actually saw that at the beginning of the stream. So, bar the audio issues in the first 2 minutes where I was miming, you can scroll back, or you can watch back. What I think I might do is cut that video and re-upload it onto the channel if I can make it look decent. If not, I might change the thumbnail so it's more indicative of the premiere coverage and then the weekly. But I am going to do some more premiere content on my Instagram this week, so make sure you keep an eye on that. Again, PokeClo on Instagram. I always post literally everything I'm doing, whether it's on YouTube, whether I'm going to events. Like I keep everything up to date on my Insta, on my stories, on my grid. So I advise that if you want to sort of know what's upcoming and what's going on in all different areas, make sure you're following me on there. Austin, member for 2 months, appreciate you. Thank you so much for being here. And guys, if you have been watching this evening, thank you so much for joining. Coming to you live from Florida from a hotel room, not my normal setup, but actually very impressed with how the stream's been running. And next week we're going to be live from Dallas after Collecticon as well. I feel like next week I might not have a voice left because Orlando Collecticon was February, and I couldn't speak after the first day, let alone the second day. So
I might be wrong, but I feel as Orlando will be more full on than what Dallas will be.
I mean, everyone said that it's as full on wherever you go, so we'll see. Green tea, 13 months. And what a year it's been.
Top mod.
What a year it's been. It would not be the same without you here. I didn't even realise that was...
yeah, auto 10.
That was autoed, and so is the Gyarados right there. Right, let's have a little scroll through while we've got a minute to go and see what is still lingering right here. Quite a few of the Gold Star. Raiku's still going. Rookie numbers. DMC is the absolute master of the membership right here.
But DMC must be like 22
DMC,
months.
you must be 22 or 23.
Is it 23? You're getting that close to the black heart.
DMC, do you know what it is? I can't see it right now, but... Okay. That Rayquaza is really nice.
That's cool.
Black Star promo right there. PSA 9. Ronnie, welcome in. How are we doing? Thank you for being here. Just trying to capture... So there's only six pages left, so just to just show you how much has dropped off right there, but there's still some really, really nice, a lot of them. So this is the first weekly I think we've done where I've seen this many of the graded metal cards, which is interesting, where they've all suddenly come from, because they weren't just SGC, there was CGC in there as well. Oh, DMC's going to check. Green tea.
Three.
Oh yeah, they will just... Green tea, I appreciate it, I appreciate it. Right, so all three top here, I've just had a little bid on them.
Top 6.
Top 6, yeah, most of them have right here. Remember, for 1 year, 9 months and 21 days, wow. What? That is a shift right there. Right, let's see where this goes.
It's coming up to 22 months by the time you're back.
That's crazy.
Oh, but won't that be the 23-month milestone? I think once you hit 22 months, doesn't it give you
it works.
Because it's 22 months and 1 day.
It works in a weird way.
It gives you the 23-month shout out or something like that.
Right, so these are still going, and let's see what did sell down here. So the Chinese Lugia sold 516. The box topper, the Dark Blasters, didn't see where the Charizard went, or the Mewtwo. Not sure if the Raichu's still going, but that's gone for 468.
That's interesting. Is the Gyarados graded? No, so the Gyarados and the Charizard are both authentic, but the Gyarados is currently sold, but is higher than the Charizard. Oh, although the Charizard just had another bid.
Yeah, DMC. Chloe, what Charizard did you win? And Chacho, what did you win as well? We got so many people picking up cards, and not just cards, maybe some other things. I wonder if that Crimson Invasion ETB sold. Let's do a little refresh.
I think wasn't that the previous block? The previous 5-minute period.
Yeah, but we didn't see whether it got extended or not because we came off the page.
I don't think it did.
Are you psychic?
Well, it was like 9 seconds or something when you left that page.
Right, so it's gone down to 89. Green tea, what did you lose? I'm intrigued to see if this Crimson Invasion box is... Because if that was on something like $54...
Yeah.
If that went for... That's wild. If
Sounds
that...
cheap.
Yeah. That... Might be. Oh, I didn't see that. Oh, PSA 9, red and blue right there. Oh, 2005... Oh!
Oh,
that
nice.
PSA 10 Ray, very nice.
Yeah, it's a nice card.
That Crimson Invasion ETB's gone.
What, am I psychic?
I'm going to turn into Alan Sugar in a minute. You're fired. Right. Oh, I love that card there. That's really nice. Oh, PSA 9. Nice pickup. Nice pickup. Oh my goodness, you guys are picking up some fire tonight. Right, just trying to do that mad scroll through. Secret Wonders Mew, love that. So that's raw. It's been authenticated by MBA. Let's go to page 4 and see where we are. The Platinum Rising Rivals Pikachu Raw look good enough to be a PSA 10. Ah.
Secret rare.
Do you know what it went? Do you know what it went for, Green Tea? I feel like we didn't even see that when we were scrolling.
I saw that at one point. It was in an NBA.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I must have absolutely breezed past that. Okay, so there's some nice cards still going. I did not click on that. Right, let's go back to the top and see if we've got some bids on any of those bigger items right here. Not yet. I feel like Unicarp might have hit its ceiling, but maybe I'm just out of touch with where recent prices have been. So the Unicarp is currently, this copy here is a PSA 7, and I keep saying it, but I will keep reminding you guys. There is a PSA 9 copy coming up in the premiere, which ends on Thursday, so 2 grade points higher. And it's kind of weird that they're both within a week of each other as well.
It's not something you see
really,
too often.
Yeah, no. So yeah, coming up together, fairly close. This Pikachu was also in a. Was it in a PSA 10 this evening?
Not tonight, no. That's the one you've been watching. Oh, unless it like ended right at the start.
Am I absolutely losing the plot, or was there a PSA 10 copy of this? I am like, and I would never say 100% sure, but I think I'm 100% sure there was a PSA 10 copy.
That's the one you've been watching for the 5-minute periods. The BGS 9.
I'm sure I am like, I'm that close to 100% that there was a PSA 10 copy. Can someone let me know if it's not, I can't even say it's late, it's only 10:49 PM at the moment right here. Right, let's see where we are. It's really cool, really nice. Lucario's had a bid. Gold Star Pikachu in a CGC 8 is currently at 1,000. It's got 20 seconds to go. Hasn't had a bid on it yet. Some nice VS is in PSA 10 holding through there. Right, let's see. We've got 15 seconds to go. I think it was like $80 with Buyer's Premium. It was an impulse bid. Green Tea. I knew there was. As soon as I looked at that, I was like, I don't remember seeing it in a Beckett slab. Okay. Looks like some of these big items have just ended. So the Unicarp with Buyer's Premium has sold for $15,000. The Pika has gone for $14.70. That was in a Beckett 9. Green Tea said the PSA 10 went for $2,250. The Rocket, Japanese Team Rocket gift box has gone for $13.20. Oh, the Gold Star Pikachu in a CGC 8 did go for $1,200. The Bugsy Sizer went for $516. Really like that card. Japanese VS in a PSA 10. So interesting. Didn't even see this. This is the reverse Pichu from Sandstorm in a PSA 10. It's Pop 1. It went for $336 right there. One of the Gold Star Raikus went. That's in a CGC 9, but there's an 8.5 still going. So we're going to do a little refresh. There was 89 items just before that bidding window ended, and now there is 57. So there's quite a few still. Quite a few. Right, so most expensive item is $750, and then we'll scroll down and we'll see what the bottom point is. Chloe, I went for Venusaur. I think we had Mewtwo in the chat. We had Pichus. I think maybe people thinking about the spikier Pichu, possibly thinking it might hold on till the end. I think we had a Magikarp in the chat. Did we have someone say Lugia?
Someone said Lugia.
Oh, I like that Mew. That's really cool. Bandai. Really nice handle there. Japanese Neo Discovery. Really like that.
Still going.
You know, I'm so drawn to that Moderna PSA 10.
$47.
Yeah, not bad. Let's just see what else we've got right here. Secret Wonders Muse still going. I don't think there's a single Venusaur though, so I think I'm out already. This is PWCC. You can actually access the auction live if you click the link at the top of the chat. You can actually watch along with us, and you can have you can go at your own pace and see what's going right there. If you haven't already, guys, just a reminder, please hit that like button on your way in. My first ever live stream, not from my studio, coming to you live from Florida.
Hopefully it's been smooth.
Chloe, I saw you got to hold that amazing Charizard. Yeah, so I got to see and hold a PSA 10 first edition Charizard back last weekend, which was pretty
fun.
Pretty impressive.
Chatshot says in the chat, might sound crazy, but how do you pay for your auction after you've won? I'm pretty sure after a couple of days they make an invoice on your account, and you can just literally press like pay now.
Green Tea's just popped it in the chat as well.
So just give it like 48 hours.
It's a pretty smooth process.
You should just have a button.
That Japanese Ruby Sapphire that's GameCube as well. That's crazy. That's still going $280. That is a VG. So we've seen CGC graded games, we've seen Wata, and we've seen VGA tonight. No opening packs. This is a auction watch along only at this stream on a Sunday. We do this every single Sunday, same time every Sunday. However, we did start an hour earlier tonight, but next week I will be back starting at 9 PM Eastern time, 7 PM Pacific time. No, 9 PM Eastern, 6 PM Pacific, and 2 AM UK time.
There you go.
Right, let's have a little. Quite a few graded games still going actually. I don't think we've ever had graded games at this point on the weekly when we've been doing the auction, which is interesting. Right, let's have a look and see. Right,
20
don't
seconds.
have any spare packs nearby. DMC, I haven't bought any packs so far on this trip.
It's the first time
Bear
you've
in
come
mind we're on our honeymoon, so this is like apart from this, it's a non-work trip. So and then from Thursday we're in Dallas for Collecticon.
I think this is the first time we've gone away in a while and not bought packs with us. I don't think we've got any packs though.
No, I haven't got a single Pokemon pack in this hotel room.
Got some slabs.
Got some slabs.
Oh,
right, no,
whoops.
this
is
is
it?
glitched, yeah.
Okay.
Just give it a second. There we go. Okay, so the Kyogre
Groudon
from
and Kyogre.
they both ended.
Charizard.
The Latias and Latios both ended as well. Graded game's still going. Right, so what were we on? We were on 57. Let's do a little refresh.
32. Ooh.
34. Not far off. But yeah, I did go to Target today, but I didn't buy any packs. And then
It's actually quite well stocked.
It was really well stocked, really well stocked. And then I went clothes shopping. So priority. I haven't done that in a while either. So Pokemon has definitely taken a back seat this trip. Okay, so highest item is the Lucario from the Japanese Master Kit in a PSA 10. Let's see what else we've got here. I'm going to go all the way down. Okay, so we're only on 2 pages now. I wonder what's sitting at the bottom. So that was $775. Lowest price item is $22. So literally, I feel like a lot of people are out on their last Pokemon standing. We got like Zygarde,
no
we've got Meloetta, Keldeo, Genesect. We got so many Pokemon on like coming up to like that end point now that we just haven't had on any of the last cards. Like we haven't seen any of these. We've seen Pikachus, we've seen Blastoise. There is 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 4 graded games still going. There's 4 graded games. So yeah, there is a Lugia. But we've never seen this many graded games at this point. So this is like a bit of a changing it up this stream, changing it up. What I might quickly do is just have a quick sneak peek and see what we're
See
going to
what's
be
coming out.
seeing up.
Ooh.
Yeah, so I saw this. This is already at $13,500, and it's a PSA 10. I haven't seen the PSA 10 copy. Got a black label. Poncho Charizard Pika as well.
Big base set Zard as well. Oh,
The phone card, which I'm
That'd be an
excited to see
interesting
where
one
that
to
ends.
see,
That was literally at $54 like yesterday. PSA 10 Gold Star Espeon, PSA 9 Shadowless Zard, PSA 10 Mario
10
Pika,
Mario.
a Japanese Moonbryon in a Beckett 10. We got crystals in PSA 10 English and Japanese.
That's a cool sketch.
Really cool cut card again. There's
Hidden Fates case.
there's a
Yeah, it's a case of Hidden Fates.
yeah, but
CTBs.
but they haven't advertised it as that. So they've advertised it as 10 sealed boxes to take the word case out of
Yeah.
it, so that people don't get confused and think it's a sealed case, because it's not a sealed case.
Was that
which is quite
English
clever.
melodic?
In
That'd be a big one.
PSA 10. It is the Butler Christian. This is not... People, I think, are a bit shocked. This is not the Butler's first rodeo. He has done a live stream with me before, but I think a lot of people missed it. There's some really nice cards coming out. Right, we're about to miss it, guys. We're about to miss it. Let's go back to this week. Games next week. I'm excited. So that's jumped up to 820, but it hasn't ended yet. So Butler is a bit rusty as well. He's not as, like, used to watching it while streaming live and giving a commentary, so he's doing not bad. He's not bad though. He's not bad. Guys, can the live chat right now rate Butler 1 to 10 on how
That's a terrible
how
idea.
his stream has done this evening? I'm gonna give him a 7, maybe a 6.5.
I respect the honesty.
6.5 or a 7. Maybe he'll be like an 8 or a 9 at this time next
I'm
week.
gonna be hay feverless and ready
To
for
be
Dallas.
fair, you have got hay fever and you're struggling a bit.
What I've got Claritin. Claritin's been keeping me strong,
Yeah.
but
Hay
I'm still a
fever
bit groggy.
tablets. Right, we've got 20 seconds to go, and then we're going to be moving into the minute bidding windows. So we're about to hit 8 PM Pacific.
It's gonna start getting quick.
You got an 11. You got a
Yeah.
7. Green tea's giving you 10.
You're just harsh.
Jose's giving you 10.
Crushing it.
6.5, Mr. Lee.
There's some more honesty in the
Someone
chat.
on my level. It's all part of the fun, people. Right, okay.
Thank you,
Butler
Chloe.
gets a 9.
Anthony.
Anthony, the
You're late.
man. Okay, right. We're going to do a little refresh here because we're already,
Halfway through.
yeah. So it's 25. So I think the 2 weeks ago when me and Dean were streaming, there was literally like 2 items left
Oh, wow.
at this point. So again, it kind of goes like quite up and down. But we've seen it when there's been like 40 odd items left at this point as well. DMC's giving you the gold bars out of 10, so that's impressive. That is really, really impressive. So yeah, this is where it goes quickly. So we were in 5-minute bidding windows, and now we're in minute bidding windows. And as you can see, like by the time you've even like taken in like what has ended,
What's
what
left.
hasn't, it's then going
Cycling again.
Joking, Butler's 10 out of 10. You guys are too kind. You guys are too kind, right? So just give it a minute, because what it tends to happen, it just glitches a little bit here and then it refreshes
And it
itself.
sells.
I'm surprised
Lugia's
there's
gone.
so many games.
A few Muse
Few moose.
Muse still bumping
A
along.
few cows in the building. Right, I think we're now down to 14. So the top item is the Brilliant Diamond, which it was weird because I think that's the first game we paid attention
saw, yeah.
to. Yeah, some like really random, like
It's just the ones that are like
Camerupt,
really cheap that people are just...
Volcanion. But like it's the Pokemon that are left. This week has thrown me completely because there hasn't been this like variation of not so popular
Yeah.
Pokemon left. Absol, like normally we've had literally like Pikachu. Pikachu's always been a safe one. Venusaur, Blastoise, Charizard. We've had Muse, like we have, and I know it's
Tanks.
kind of, yeah. Gotta love those moves. Gotta love those moves. Yeah, that Articuno. Oh, just as we're talking, it's ended again.
Ended again.
So 14 left.
6.
Down to 6. So that was, there we go. We've literally.
Bigger chunk ended.
Yeah. So we got Camerupt, Meloetta, Porygon, Sprigatito, Mew, and Articuno. So quite the variation. We have got a very cute. I did see that Mew earlier, and I actually quite like the look of that. So $90 is our highest price point right now, and then our lowest is 28. So again, like that, you know, the bigger items, like the tens of thousands of items, tend to have ended at this point.
I think the thing with the bigger items are, because the increments you have to bid in are larger as well. They tend to stop quicker.
Yeah.
I think once you get 10,000, isn't it like $250 or $500 increments you have to actually bid?
Right, let's do a little refresh. So we're down to 2.
2 left.
There are 2 items
The
left.
Camerupt's pop 1.
I did not think, guys, it would be a Porygon or a Camerupt. And
Porygon Z.
I'm going to say no one guessed correctly. And if you didn't put it in the live chat, it doesn't count. So I don't think anyone got last Pokemon standing. Yeah, Green Tea, literally. It's been
Camerupt's still going.
It's been a wild ride. But yeah, these are not the 2 Pokemon I thought that would be left.
They're both still going.
This and the thing is, like, I feel like if I had picked one of these random Pokemon and Dean was here, he'd be like, yeah, that's never gonna happen. And then like the week he's not here, it happens. I wonder what Dean's last Pokemon would have been.
Tortank.
There was no Tortank though. There was a Turtok. There was a Turtok. So I think that's where whoever pointed it out earlier just read it too quickly and didn't see.
Oh, there was no Tortank at all.
No, I'm pretty sure. I think they saw the Turtok.
Bad news for Dean.
Bad news for Dean. Let's see. Let's give it one more minute and see where these are going to go. So just a reminder, guys, we will be back next week at the normal time of 6 p.m. Pacific time, 9 p.m. Eastern time, and 2 a.m. UK time. We did start an hour earlier this week to get in that bonus content for the premiere. So the premiere ends on Thursday. Unfortunately, I can't live stream it, but I am going to do some content on Instagram this week for it, so keep your eyes peeled for that. We'll be coming to you live from Dallas next week, so we really are like on the road, like on tour, Poke Chloe on tour with the butler in tow. Poke Dean isn't on this trip because my body's not on our honeymoon with us, and then he couldn't make it to Dallas either, which was a shame. So Dean will be back streaming with me in a couple of weeks' time. So just a couple of things. If you haven't already, please make sure you hit that like button. I appreciate you all. This has actually gone much smoother than I thought it was going to be. I had no idea what it was going to be like not streaming from my normal setup. Unfortunately, Miss Lee, it's the day I'm traveling from Florida to Texas, so logistically
be on a plane.
I don't think I can set this up on a plane because it's definitely not Wi-Fi strong enough to do that. But yeah, I will be doing some Insta content to make up for that, and I will do a little recap next Sunday, because I know that some people watching tonight might not catch it, and if you don't, we can maybe have a little chat about it on the stream next week. So yeah, it's going to be me and the butler coming to you live. We might even have like maybe a special guest. Maybe we can have like a special guest next week.
That'd be cool.
I'll see.
You can replace me.
I'll see.
You said you would all night.
Yeah. So maybe we'll get a special guest. Maybe we'll get a special guest in next week. I'll see who I can kidnap from Collecticon to do the live stream with me.
There should be enough choice.
But yeah, so really happy with how it went. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. It looks like the Porygon Z is the last
champion.
Pokemon standing. I don't think anyone got that, so all of us tonight were rubbish at guessing, but it's all part of the fun. So guys, thank you so much for watching. Hit that like button if you haven't already. It's been a pleasure. Thank you very much to my co-host, the butler, who's done a great job. It's been a shift. We've done 3 hours tonight. It's been a long one, so enjoyed it. And yeah, guys, we will see you again next Sunday live from Dallas. Have a great rest of the week wherever you are, and we will see you again very soon.
Night, everyone.
Good night, everyone.